Well, good evening, everyone. How are you doing? I hope you've had a good week. It's been a stressful week for me. When you just have those and there's just something all the time that's kind of just annoying. It's just been one of those for me. So I'm glad that I am here with you guys, and I've got sweet baby Chalupa. He is curled up next to me, looking so adorable, and little Missy Moo. She's under the fluffy blanket, and they both seem to be doing a lot better today. Yesterday, they both were like basically puking, and I'm not exactly sure why, but I got them some baby food, and they loved that. Let me tell you, that turkey and turkey broth, they were just like, oh, yes, this is the best. And if that makes them happy, and if that calms down their belly, I'm happy to do it for them. So today we have a list of things to get through. Boy, let me tell you, I am going to be sharing with you guys an article about unicorn companies because I think it's, important for us to have a basic understanding of this, and for founders also to have an understanding of that, since there's been years of proclaiming that a certain company is a unicorn. And the thing is like you just can't go around going, we're a unicorn. It has to be based on something, and I'll get into that in a little bit. And I'm also going to share with you some words of a song that when I was thinking about being an English teacher, my plan was to play this song on the first day of school in every class period as like their very first thing, because I just think it's a great song. Number one, it's a fabulous song, and it's well put together, very talented musicians, and it has a good message. And the song is all about words. And then I'm also going to update you on the SEC case. So we're going to learn about what has been going on. And we're also going to check out, the most recent appearance of Mr. Mufareh himself. And I'm going to, if we have time for it, I'm going to read to you guys The Anatomy of a Pyramid Scheme, which is in Ponzinomics by Robert Fitzpatrick. But before we get to all of that, I thought I'd share with you something that's very comical, because to me, it just kind of illustrates the lack of, just the lack. I mean, I'm just going to say just the lack of like expecting no one to have ever heard of this company. It's like, have you heard of this? It's like, yeah, I had, even before I started anything like about the AI stuff, I had heard of this company. Now, do I know everything about it? No, but I had heard of it. I knew kind of what they did. I knew they were in the tech sector, that's for sure. So anyway, that's kind of our plan. So let me go ahead and say hello to everyone. Hey, Jelly Snack, how are you, Sweet Pea? I hope you're having a good one. Hey, Mon Hun, how are you doing? I am always so happy to be part of your morning. So thank you for, tuning in. I appreciate that. Salami, I love the pink hands. Now it's pink hand scamming. I like that. Pink hand scamming. I like that so much. Oh, hey, Insolent Violet. Thank you so much for saying something about the pups. I always give you guys an update of where they are. At least I try to. Hello, Magical Nev. How are you doing? Perfect background chat for wrestling the animals. And morning to you too, sweetheart. I hope you're doing very well. Next Lever, how are you doing? And I like that you said the naysayer family. I like that very much. Oh, and thank you for calling us beautiful people, Insolent Violet. I appreciate that. Hey, Hershey, how are you doing? And you did get the best seat in the house. And Albs, how are you? I'm glad you are here and you're in it to scam it. I got it. Yes. And Sam, hi, Sam. How are you? So nice to have you all here. So I'm going to go ahead and where's my drink? Okay, I have some iced tea. That's what I'm drinking. And I don't know why I have this thing screwed on and then I like bend it over a little bit and it seems to leak and that annoys me. But there is no way in hell I'm spending like, what is it for these stupid ass Stanley cups? Have you guys heard about that? The Stanley cups? And there's even crazy people that are like doing unboxing things, like they're decorating them, like they're what, like a doll or something. I mean, it's just like, have you lost your mind? It's an insulated cup. Who gives a shit? And why would you spend that much money on a fucking cup? It's not that deep. The one I have is Rodeo Uncorked. So it's from the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo from a couple of years ago that my husband got when he was in the wine tent. And he gave it to me because he knew that I'd have more of a use for it than him. You're watching the NBA Finals? Oh, good. Yeah. Soon, Copa America and the 2024 Euros. All right. Okay, let me go ahead and share this with you. I thought I had already, okay. I thought I had this pulled up and then I didn't. So now I will. There we go. All right. And you're going to have to let me know if you can hear this. If you can't hear it, I will drag it back over to the other side. And you'll have to give me a moment to like rearrange things. And Monhun says, I've seen so many Huns offering those dang things as are you serious? In their team sales competitions, even if I wanted one, I would avoid it just because of the Huns. Right? And I'm going to avoid it because of all the stupid influencers that are doing stupid things with them. I don't give a fuck about these damn Stanley cups and children putting it on their damn, Christmas list and making kids feel like they're inadequate because they don't have a Stanley cup. I mean, good gravy. That's just stupid. All right, that's how I feel about it. I don't know. Maybe you guys are into Stanley Cups, and if you're not, I'm gonna, if you are, I'm gonna say, you know what, you better rethink all of that because it's really not that deep. All right, so let me go ahead and play this a little bit for you. Not very much, but not very long. But I just want you to hear this, and I also want you to tell me if you're aware of this company. Okay. And first of all, tell me if you can hear it, because I'm just going to start it really quick and then stop it so I can find out if you guys can hear it. Okay, I just played a teensy tiny bit of it. Hey, Auntie, how are you, sweetheart? No audio. Okay, thank you, Monhun. All right, so let me stop that. Let me stop that all together. And I'm going to have to bring that over here. And that's just weird because sometimes you guys can hear it over there when I put it on my second screen, and other times you're like, nope, can't hear it. So I will take care of that, and we'll just, figure this out together. How does that sound? Because we are family, right? We're the naysayer family, damn it. Okay. All right, and I'll make that big, and I will share my screen over there. Oh, dang it. Now it's doing, hang on a minute. Because then sometimes I have an issue with if it will show me like to be able to hit the share button or not. Okay, there it is. Share. And then I'll move you guys back to the other side. Okay, now let me know if you can hear it.
Heard in the news yesterday.
Could you guys hear that? Let me know. Hello there, Asmahan. So glad you can say, okay, you can hear it. Thank you, Monhun. So glad you can join us, and you love expensive shoes and jewelry. I bet you do. I bet you do. All righty. So let's go ahead and check out what Mr. Redfern had to say. Hey, Next Level.
Was quite an important day as far as the internet is concerned. Why? Because Apple fell from their #1 spot of companies of value to second place, and they have been overtaken by a company really that nobody has ever heard about. Now, I don't know if you've heard of this company at all, but I am going to explain a little bit about this company. But keep with me, stay with me, and we will then circle all the way round.
Now, remember, no one has ever heard of this company. I want you guys to soak that in. Hey, Monica, how are you doing, sweetheart?
To ONPASSIVE, because I think it's really, really important and very specific to what we are doing in ONPASSIVE. So the company name, okay, that have overtaken Apple, okay, is a company called, drum roll please, it is Nvidia, okay.
First of all, he pronounces it incorrectly. It's Nvidia. So it's not, that hard. He could have looked it up, but alas, no, that didn't happen.
Nvidia. Now, Nvidia are an American based.
Now, have you guys heard of this company? Nvidia. Have you heard of Nvidia? Hey there, Angel. How are you? Exactly. They make the chips that basically every AI company is using, including Microsoft and Meta. It's like been around for a while. It's like people know about this company. It's not anything that has just popped up and in some little bitty tiny thing. Magicalness says, I'm pretty sure I've used some of their chips. Yeah. Does ONPASSIVE have useless rank too? You can go look at, because I put the link to the hype stat ranking, if that's what you're talking about. So I'm not really sure what you're talking about, Monica. I'm Sparkle, Diamond, Unicorn, Rainbow. Oh, yes. All right. And Angel says Nvidia has been around for decades. If you work with computers, build your own computers, you know about Nvidia. What Red means, because he had never heard of it, he assumes no one else has. Exactly. Because he hasn't heard of it, then nobody else has. And Magical Nev says, see, pretty much everyone has heard of Apple and most people have heard of Nvidia, but basically nobody has heard of it ONPASSIVE. So yeah. I would love for him to pronounce the Nvidia platform for parallel computing. I write, and I do not know how to pronounce it, so I'm not going to try to embarrass myself on a weekly basis. I bet the OP Tech team has never touched it. Probably not. Sam says tequila time. ONPASSIVE is 10 times bigger than Nvidia. We are massive. As if. And Monica says that, they've used it too. It's common. Wow. Oh, wow. And named his cat after. That's cute. And right, Auntie, that he knows his audience well. They've never heard of basically anything in the tech world, so that he's going to presume that nobody else has. Let's see. Hey there, Joe. How are you doing, sweetheart? As you're at the Beaumont Hospital. Yeah, exactly, Monhun. AI geniuses that they are. It's just embarrassing. It's like, that all of a sudden they find out something and presume Nobody has heard of this. This is like brand new. Good Lord. So I'll just listen to a couple more seconds of this.
Company, in fact, they're from Santa Clara in California, and there really is a really good backstory to how they started in 1993. So really not that long ago. And it was founded by three guys who are all still part of the company. And they actually met at a roadside diner called Denny's to seal the deal back in
Dennis? Does he mean Denny's? I'm kind of wondering about that. And just to say that 1993 wasn't all that long ago, I mean, been around a lot longer from Unpassive, and they actually like are doing something, and they have a product that virtually all the AI companies are using their chips. So I would say, yeah, they're known and they're doing shit. What's Unpassive doing? Next Level says Denny's. Yeah, that's what I thought. So, so of course, he's not saying anything correctly, which that always just bugs me. I mean, I will tell you guys if I don't know how to pronounce something. There ain't no shame to say you don't know how to pronounce something, rather than us plunging on through and pretending as if you know exactly what you're saying. You know, just saying. Just saying. So, okay, that was something I wanted to share with you guys. I thought that would just be a little bit of a fun start for us to, you know, get us thinking about all of this stuff, about what's going on in the world of Unpassive, and again, talking about something that they really don't know much about and pretending like something that's been around for over 30 years is brand spanking new. Recovering Humbot Nvidia is about to go next level, no pun intended. They're going to let AI design its own chips. Shit going to get real wild soon. Wow. That's really interesting, next level. That's really, really interesting. Wow. If you can afford stock, buy it. Wow. Yeah. That's very, very interesting. I crumble into dust every time my mom is listening to the oldie station and it plays songs from my high school years. I know what you mean. What can I say? What can I say? I know exactly what you mean. But you know what? I'm embracing it. I'm embracing it. What can I say? And even though I'm from 64, I mean, I really consider myself Gen X because I relate to everything Gen X. I don't relate to a damn thing that's really baby boomer at all. I'm like, no, don't know it. Okay. All right. So the next thing that I wanted to share with you guys is, let me pull up my notes here. Okay. They're the lyrics to a song. Has anybody ever heard of the Tom Tom Club? Anyone? 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 Tom Tom Club? And great music at CVS. Well, I'm going to read you the lyrics to Wordy Rapping Hood. Tom Tom Club, a couple of the members also were musicians for, now I'm going to go completely blank. Talking Heads. There I go. Got it. And it's not like they were as well known as the Talking Heads were, but they kind of like did some things off on the side. And Wording Rapping Hood was in their first album, which was like self-titled as the Tom Tom Club. So I'll even put the lyrics up here for you, but and I'll scroll through them. So okay. Because I was going to play this song, but I'm like, I would just read the words down. There's going to be a part of it that I'm not going to be able to read because it's not in the language that I speak. And even though I can say it with the song plays, I'm going to completely mess it up if I try to say it to you guys. So I'm not going to try, but I would say after this, look up the song and go actually listen to it, because it starts out like with a typewriter and it's, you know, a bunch of synth also. It's a really great song. So when I hear Ash speak, this song comes to mind. And this is also that song that I wanted to play if I were an English teacher. Okay, let me get a sip of my tea. What are words worth? What are words worth? Words. Words in paper, words in books, words on TV, words for crooks. Words of comfort, words of peace, words to make the fighting cease, words to tell you what to do. Words are working hard for you. Eat your words, but don't go hungry. Words have always nearly hung me. A ram sam sam, a ram sam sam. Gooey gooey gaga, ram sam sam. Hi kai ya yippee I kai ya woo a iki chi. What are words worth? What are words worth? Words. Words of nuance, words of skill, and words of romance are a thrill. Words are stupid, words are fun, words can put you on the run. And now this is the part that I can't not say that is in French, so I'm not going to even try to say it. And then it goes into the same chorus here, which I'm probably messing that up too. And back to what are words worth? What are words worth? Words. It's a rap race with a fast pace. Concrete words, abstract words, crazy words, and lying words, hazy words and dying words, words of faith, tell me straight, rare words and swear words, good words and bad words. And again, the ram sam sam, gooey gooey gooey, ram sam sam, hi kai ya yippee I kai ya ahoo I iki chi. What are words worth? What are words worth? Words. And that's the chorus again. What are words worth? What are words worth? Words. Words can make you pay and pay. 4 little words I cannot say. Panty, toilet, dirty devil. Words are trouble. Words are subtle. Words of anger. Words of hate. Words over here. Words out there. In the air and everywhere. Words of wisdom. Words of strife. Words that write the book I like. Words won't find the right solution to the planet Earth's pollution. Say the right word, make a million. Words are like a certain person who can't say what they mean, don't mean what they say. A rap here, a rap there, here a rap, there a rap, everywhere a rap it up for the common good. Let us enlist the neighborhood. It's okay. I've overstood. This is a wordy rapping hood. Okay, bye. A ram sam sam, a ram sam sam, gooey gooey gooey, a ram sam sam, hi kai ya, yippee I kai ya, ooh, a iki chi. So there it is. Oh, it's a song by the Tom Tom Club. But you have to really hear it when it's played, because there are so many different instruments that are involved in it, including a cowbell, bongo drums. It's just like, it's so interesting to see it live and all its glory with all the different instruments that are used. But I always think about Ash, because how you cannot understand what he's saying because he's speaking in word salad, and then everybody is trying to figure out, or at least it appears as if those who, you know, do their daily updates and stuff, like they have some kind of magical way to read in between the lines of whatever the man is saying, and they know exactly what he means. And I don't think they do. I mean, at all. And my question then is, well, if they can have their own spin on, well, what does this actually mean? Why can't we? Because what we hear is something very different than what they hear. Oh my gosh, you hope Gina Leva sings this on the next Let's Oh. Heck, I would take Rob singing it a few times, and after a few swigs of his water, as Lynn looks on annoyed, angry, and questioning her life choices. Yeah, they can decipher gibberish, and that's exactly what it is gibberish. Oh, okay, so you know about the boyfriend song. Yeah, that's all of the Tom Tom Club, very unknown for most people. And I turned my husband on to the Tom Tom Club because most people don't really know about them. And it's one of those bands that I just absolutely love because I think it's very fun music and so much talent. And they're just musicians having fun. All right. So what was I going to do next? All right. Now I'm going to share with you something that is very important, and that is the update to the case. Are you guys ready for this? Mona says, I was so relieved to hear Ash made it through his procedure okay. Rumor has it the doctors were worried because when Ash was coming out of anesthesia, he was actually making sense. Wow. Wow, that's funny. That is funny. Okay. So here we have it. So this is, as you can see, it is the Securities Exchange Commission's the plaintiff, and it shows how Ash and ONPASSIVE are the defendant, and it has the relief defendant too. A mediation conference was held May 10th, 2024, and the results of that conference are indicated below. The following individuals, parties, corporate representatives, and or claims professionals attended and participated in the mediation conference, and each possessed the requisite authority. All individual parties and their respective counsel. Designated corporate representatives. And then it goes to here. The conference was continued with the consent of all parties and counsel. The mediation conference will be held on a date certain, not later than 10 days prior to the scheduled trial date. Any continuance beyond that time must be approved by the presiding judge. Mediation reports will be filed after additional conferences are complete. And that was done yesterday, the 6th day of June 2024. So basically, there's been no agreement. Ash hasn't run shit or shinola. There's nothing that has been won on the case at all. It's still in mediation. And it appears as if it could be heading towards a trial, unless before that date comes, they are able to come to an agreement. So I am taking it that things probably didn't go particularly well or particularly not well, just kind of somewhere in between. But definitely nobody won. And in mediation, you don't really win because you reach an agreement if you are able to reach an agreement. But notice down here, there is this, the parties have reached an impasse. So if they reach an impasse and they can't move forward, then it will definitely go to trial. But Ash is taking the bull by the horns again. Oh, and how exactly has he taken the bull by the horns? Oh, because he's proclaiming that he won. I saw it on a Facebook post, and I do remember it. Great fun watching it again. Instant Violet, what did you see on a Facebook post? And Monica, you're right. Whatever was said, I'm sure if Ash was there, it was a bunch of word salad out of his mouth if he opened up his mouth. But we've been told they won. How could they all mislead us? I would say that's pretty simple. That's kind of what Ash tends to do, in my opinion. is he'll take something that there might be some sort of nugget somewhere that might have some sort of truth within it, sort of, maybe, kind of, but it's not actually really 100% true. And then they're all reading between the lines and they're reading everything positive, but he hasn't really said anything. Oh my gosh, right? And we are going to be this whole that they've gotten so much free usage out of, everything. They should be basically happy with that. Hey, Salami, how are you doing, sweetie? Yes, I did say nugget. So I'm glad you appeared. All right. So next, after letting you know, showing you the document that was filed about the mediation as it was not conclusive, there you go. So next, we are going to then look at or listen to, should I say, Ash's appearance on the Tuesday 360, which I'm really kind of confused about, like, why did you do this on a Tuesday? Oh, it's because you were having your procedure done on a Wednesday. Shower time? Oh, don't take a shower now. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to share that with you guys. And I need to move this over here so I can see what you're saying. And where did it go? Where did my tab go? There it is. Okay. Let me get it back over here. It came off of all my other tabs. Okay. All right. Let me pull it all the way back. And do you guys want me to leave the fire on? You're taking your phone upstairs so you can still listen. Okay, I will take that. You'll have a comment on this video within an hour saying how that's a fake document, right? Exactly. They'll say it's all fake, even though they can go find this exact same document their own damn selves, but they won't believe it. And, I will put a link to it. Can I get the link to this? I'll get the link later. I'll get a link later. I'm not going to worry about it right now. Chosen by God to save humanity and get you some nice jewelry. Oh, that whole thing about how basically the chosen one, that just always kills me. Always kills me. All right. Are we ready? Are we ready for me to react to this bullshit? Okay. Because this is the longer version. It's like 37 minutes.
Check up on
Oh, okay. I won't start. You let me know then, Ash.
New
That's
Jersey,
fine.
because speaking of Florida, Don DeGarmo was spotted in Florida.
Really?
I heard she walked away from her husband.
She left him with all the kids too. That's what I.
I will say this particular version of it is like, it is so flippin' fuzzy. And this is on Red's channel, by the way. And I mean, the lack of clarity of this video is really kind of takes me aback. And it was done on what? OConnect. So above market value and so superior to everything else. And yet this is what it looks like.
I love. I don't borrow.
New Jersey.
Yeah.
anymore. She's not here when she is
Took so long to stick with you.
anymore. 43 years. Yeah, she's not too smart.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. and the
I said
audio-
is, hey, you want to go for a rewrite? Let's go.
I know. Didn't even hesitate.
Are you guys catching how awful the audio is? How it's kind of like there's static in it? So in addition to the lack of clarity of the video itself, which is on Red's channel, the audio is crap too. But they are so superior.
Hey, Red, thank you for taking us with you here. I see people are
No
still
problem.
jamming in, so allow a couple more, and then we'll make a brief connect so we can go back to our schedule for the day. Perhaps thank you for having a pre-360. It's not going to be 360. It's like 37 or 36 maybe. How are you feeling?
Yeah.
And Monhun says, I love this. It's only fuzzy to you because you don't have a 12K monitor. The bigger the screen, the better the scene. What bullshit is that they try to pull, you know? That cracks me up. They're like, well, if you'd only play it on this, and you know, you would see how fabulous it is.
Yeah, all good.
You feel like you're growing now, Red, because you're glowing. You're not aging.
You know,
Impressive.
I've been I've been hitting the gym hard over the last 3 months. So yeah, I give it my all, like everything I do, and I have some veins that keep popping in my head, I think.
Right, Hershey?
When was the last time you worked out prior to this?
About an hour and a half ago.
You resumed. How long did you?
And again, blaming Red's internet. It's like, it's always somebody else's fault. It's always the fault of a founder, of just anything. It can't be the actual product's fault. It can't be Ash's fault. It can't be ONPASSIVE's fault. It can't be, it's always elsewhere. Let's not take responsibility or ownership for anything. Let's always cast blame elsewhere. I mean, I think that is something that has been mastered by Ash and ONPASSIVE and the founders too, because that they just like cast blame, or they believe like the blame is always elsewhere.
For years or
no,
she's more active. Okay.
Yeah. No,
How, on and off. I'm trying to ask: is it easy to resume? Is it easy to go back?
Absolutely, yeah. I've always been I wouldn't say a gym goer, but certainly exercise has always been a very big part of my life. And as I keep trying to remind myself when I'm trying to get out the door, which is always the hardest part, is once you're at the door and you're on your way to a gym or whatever exercise you're doing, it becomes very easy. That first step to leave the house is the hardest part. But once you're there, and what I'm trying to do now is that I'm trying to remind myself I'm doing all of this for the 80-year-old me. So that's why I do it now, really.
That is brilliant.
And the old adage, Ash, you know, healthy body, healthy mind.
Of course.
And it really does, you know, because certainly the endorphins that are released when you exercise really are good for you. You know, they really are good for your body and your soul. And it's a good stress relief. It helps you focus. It helps in all sorts of things. And there's been lots and lots of studies done. Obviously, they do a lot of studies nowadays, more so than they ever have done. But certainly older generation people who lift weight have a much, much higher bone density than people who don't. And obviously that keeps your posture, your form, and enables you to do a lot more later on in your life. So all of those combined, and you know, you got to look good on a beach, you see.
Beautiful. Oh, wow. That's sexy. Okay. Yeah. I heard you have a 6-pack or 12-pack. What is it?
No, mate, they couldn't sell them in 6s anymore, so I've got about a 10-pack now, I think. So
Okay. What brand? Guinness?
I do. Guinness is one of my.
Speaking of focus, we're not going to focus as much as Bob Takusi, but
Monhan, I'm so glad you said that, because I was honestly wondering if it was me. Because I'm like, okay, it seems like it's out of sync. And you said the audio is really out of sync with the video too. I've never experienced that on Zoom or Teams. I haven't either. Another feature unique to OConnect. I mean, okay, thank you. Because I really thought maybe it's just me and maybe it's synced correctly and it's just not working for me. Even here I am trying to blame myself. I guess I'm just so used to not blaming where it should go, which is, you guys get the picture.
but I think that's a very good piece of wisdom, Brett. I think thank you for attending 360.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this is the best. Auntie, I love you. I just love you. Ash doesn't seem like the headphones are bothering his ear day before surgery. That is so funny. Asmahan on Connect is massive. I love that. I love all your comments. Please keep them coming so I can just use a silly voice. Oh my gosh. I just love you guys. Okay. Oh my God. Joe, you are too cute. You can get a 180 pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Oh, you guys are so funny.
We're done. Good for the day.
Hi.
Actually, it was part of my my live today, which was going to be I entitled it Confidence, and I was going to be speaking about using the gym.
Did you do
no
it?
no
Okay,
do you know something?
Go
three people hijacked it, so I couldn't.
No, go. We're gonna be quiet and listen. Okay,
I cannot do that for you, Ash. I will do it later on. We're here for you, and that's what matters, my friend.
Fantastic. Okay, let me see. Wow, that's a very fancy number. Okay, thank you for coming, everybody. Okay, let me know if it's a good time to.
I'm just going to record it now.
Hey, welcome to 360. Someone came along, Asmahan Mufareh out of the blue and said, let's do it today. And he's here.
Yeah, thank you, Chris, Red, and brother Marty DeGarmo. And I appreciate everybody's attendance. On a quick note, on 360 on Tuesday, it's on a Tuesday at 11:15 a.m. Make up your mind. Okay, we're unpredictable. Basically, because tomorrow I'm going to a funny surgery. Chris, behave yourself, okay? And I'll be probably offline for a bit. I don't know how long, but they want me to be 2 weeks. But I hope I will be able to resume much faster. I want to go back to a couple of things. Basically, the very most important thing that.
Okay, can they just put their fucking phones on silence? Why is that so hard for any of these people to do? Why do we always have to hear their fucking cell phones ringing? It drives me bananas.
We want to build on what we said last time. And maybe we target it from another dimension so we can be more clear and simplify it. Business is as usual. There's nothing changed, the core, all of that. But knowing the character of us for a
Wait, hang on. What did he say about another dimension? Wait, what was that?
We want to build on what we said last time. and maybe we target it from another dimension so we can
Targeted from another dimension. Targeted from another dimension. What the fuck does that even mean? Targeted from another. Okay, I am confused by that. So that's the beginning of the word salad right there. What the fuck is that? It's like, okay, are you on like a different plane in the universe? You operating in a different dimension? I mean, I just don't understand. Ash, could you please, like speak clearly and use words that make sense? Because that doesn't make any kind of sense. Right, Sam? They are accepting aliens as founders. I mean, good gravy. That sounds so stupid.
be more clear and simplify it. Business is as usual. There's nothing changed. The core, all of that. But knowing the character of us for a while, okay, we've exaggerated in terms of giving people the comfort and the reliance on us to always deliver up to their expectation. However, transparent conversation here, as usual.
Always to deliver to their expectations. What? Okay. Weren't they supposed to get, I think it was like last week, the commissions? Wasn't that supposed to happen? And wasn't another product supposed to come out too? I mean, hasn't that been said recently and then it never happened? I mean, how many times? I mean, I really want to counter on the timeline of how many times has he said something about whatever it is, and then it's not mentioned again. Founders dare not ask questions about it, never bring it up, because they know they'll get in trouble if they ask a question. I mean, I'm completely confused here, because it's like, I have never known someone to say so many different things, like promising people this or that, and it just doesn't happen. I mean, I think the biggest example I can think of is, what was that was in Boston? What was the damn product? Desk or something, because if you put an O in front of it, it's a product. And then that was never released. Nobody has questioned it, and it was ready to go to market. Never happened. I'm really confused. Natural Net says they haven't delivered anything. Oh, staff, thank you. Oh, staff. Iman Hun says, thank you, Salami. Thank you. The spiritual dimension. Oh, Mordecai. Oh my gosh. If that's what he means. Okay, that is just creeping me the fuck out right there. They're doing things differently than other companies. Oh, I'm sure. Overpromise and underdeliver. It's a paradigm shift. Natural Net says, if he was my postman, I'd complain to the administrator. My gosh. Again, you guys, it's like the amount of bullshit that is coming out of, I'm just going to say, all of their mouths is just incomprehensible and highly disturbing.
We all recognize that there is a couple of hiccups here on the way, and
a couple of hiccups? How about nothing works the way that they would expect it to work? And how about that you're in a case, you're sitting here being accused of securities fraud and as operating as a pyramid scheme by the SEC. That's not just a hiccup. That's a really big deal that you are trying to cast off as like, it's just not important. Nobody really cares about that. Yeah, they do. Yes, that is very important. That's not something you should just, guffaw and just like, oh, nope, it doesn't matter.
Delay that caused delay, but it doesn't change the core. as a result of that, we decided to take drastic action, basically to be in charge and all of that. I said that. So in a way, it sounds better, even if you take steps that might sound like short term, that they are a step back, okay, or setbacks. No, we're doing this because we're unhappy with the pace and we want to really.
Nothing is actually a setback. You're unhappy with the pace. You've had just about 6 motherfucking years, dude. It hasn't exactly been going along lickety clip, you know? Pretty damn slow. And I believe somebody posted somewhere that roughly to create something like what Zoom created would be roughly $40,000. I saw a post about that. If anybody knows, like, has information about that, let me know. But I remember seeing that somewhere and I don't remember where.
Rock the world, okay? Now, this is one more important. I want to tell you directly that if you know our character as a collective here,
Oh, we do.
so far, we like to really make people happy. Those loyal people, we like to impress them.
How are you making anybody happy? They're not getting commissions. Even if somebody wants to actually buy something, they could only do it in crypto. How in the fuck are you making anyone happy? People are pissed. Can you not, deal with the fact that people are pissed?
This is our passion, not because we want to tap on the shoulder. No. For them, it's a joyful thing to see that you create the pleasant in somebody's life or add that good value to them. We've seen some progress, no near where we want to go, the ultimate picture, perhaps. And I want to say something. Last time I said you're going to be proud that you stuck with us, and I'm going to say it probably a little bit different. Uh, just keep in mind that we all know that some of the mistakes, I don't want to say mistakes, maybe the things we could have done them better, that not to give too much information to the public, okay, too soon. So that was something I wouldn't do the same. And if I tell you, oh, I would do it exactly the same, all that, I'll be arrogant, okay? Yeah, this is something maybe at this capacity, if it was like 100 people, all that you can control. But to the millions, we shouldn't reveal that much information, and we went ahead of ourselves. Okay,
What do you actually reveal? You're revealing too much information. You're not revealing shit, nor Shinola. And Angel, I'm so glad that you said this. They always remind me of a bunch of 5 to 6 year olds playing business. And yes, it's like they're Ash is putting on his dad's suit, the suit coat. Like, okay, we're gonna go down in the basement and play business. And then he has his, buddies come over, like, yeah, we're playing business again. And they're just making shit up. Mordecai says hiccups and sense of wrinkles. And also, Mordecai, thank you for joining. I hadn't said hi to you, so hello. Every minor progress is huge. Every catastrophe is minor. That's on passive. You are so right. You're dead on with that. And it's so annoying. Hi, Takara. Thank you so much for the beautiful pink hands wavings. Joe, boo-boos. A fish rots from the head down. That's a great expression. I've never heard of that. It's not about giving info too soon. It's about giving unrealistic times. Well, he doesn't even give times. I mean, he just basically doesn't give anything other than it's coming soon. And you're going to be blown away. Done. And then not address anything that's actually, concerning anyone. In my opinion.
in terms of that was a misalignment between the message, the vision, and our passion versus what we see in our hands. That it's not like it's not going to happen, or the intention was not aligned. Everything was good, but it just like not on the same page. So we needed to adjust that. Now we're going to back up with the words, okay, but push harder with the accomplishment, with the achievement, with the practicality. So this is why you might see the language different, the drastic change, all of that. But
I don't know what you're saying. I haven't a clue. None of this makes any sense. It's like, are you actually speaking the English language? Do you know how to speak clearly, succinctly, be upfront and be truthful and honest? I mean, this is what he calls transparent. This is what I call dodging, deflecting. What a bunch of horse shit.
But this time around, you're not going to hear so much. You're going to hear the action shock you. So what I want to say is, without specifics, okay?
Okay, you never give specific. And why is Marty just nodding? Like, yeah, yeah, this is the, yeah, I'm on track here. Totally tracking what you're saying. He doesn't give a, he hasn't a fucking clue either. Nobody knows what he's saying.
When I said I'm taking charge of this and I know my work quality, I know what is being done and what's possible. When you see this, this summer, okay, let's be safe, okay? When you see what was the adjustment, you're going to say, okay, I didn't expect this. This is going to impress you. And it's almost like, whoa, you were talking about.
Since when is he concerned about impressing the founders? I mean, they would be impressed if he farted. Let's just be honest here, because they don't know dick all when it comes to any of this shit. And they certainly don't go and like try to look things up and, find alternative sources of information because they've been trained not to. And they really should. They should really do their own research. I encourage them to go look at what are these things that he's talking about. Is this how other tech companies speak? Get familiar with the players in the field and not just sit here and go, Ash knows everything. He's so brilliant. You have nothing to base that on. Y'all have just decided he is the best. He knows what he's doing. And you don't even know what the fuck he's doing or why he's doing it. Well, okay, we probably could give a better idea of all of that. The sayers of nay. But the founders, they don't know. They're just, oh my gosh, it's going to be so massive, so pretty. Oh my God. It's just going to be so, we're just going to keep on dreaming. Shit.
About that before. So it will be, in a way, by design, I want to over deliver. I want to stack the cool. I want to really impress you to.
Oh my gosh, he wants to over deliver and stack the fucking cool. Could you stop using those same tired ass expressions? That's just in your little bag of expressions of your word salad that you just pull out ever so often, just slap them on out there as if they have real meaning. And from what I can tell, it's like nothing the man says has actual meaning. It's all like a mystery and a puzzle. Thank you very much. I will keep it a secret. Thank you. I appreciate that.
To know, it's like almost a justification for anybody who had doubt or got a little bit leery or maybe impatient. I understand that. So for me, personal. I'm talking personal again. Forgive me for that. I don't mean like me. Okay,
No, you
I
do.
mean my heart. Okay, personally, I really don't want anybody to give us their attention.
Oh, wow. So I will keep it secret says, just for an information, ONPASSIVE's Dubai team haven't been paid for 3 months, and they have actually stopped working. I'm very interested to know how you know that. And you can, I'll put the email address in the chat. Dang it, let me move this up. My stuff is like covering everything. Dang it. Okay, let me open it up on YouTube. Give me just a moment. I will be right back with you guys because I can't see it right now. And I will put it in there. I mean, it's on my channel, but I'm just trying to make it easier for you, you know? Trying to be helpful. Okay, it is the recovering hunbot at gmail.com. I'd be interested in knowing more and how you know what you are saying, like to be able to validate that. Because I don't want to just say anything like it's 100% truthful if I can't, provide documentation or something and has evidence. You know what I mean? Hey, Gerald, catch up crew. Whoop, whoop for the catch up crew. But I certainly appreciate seeing that. Yeah, I read the Glassdoor reviews, I believe last week.
Attention in the past and walk away with any less than what they expected. Personally, I'm responsible. Make sure that everybody came and gave it a chance at some point. Keep in mind, nobody's paying money. Don't judge me for that. Don't think you're paying money. I'm not stopping anybody from whatever they're doing in their life. I really didn't ask for like any organ or blood donation. Let's talk business now, okay? It's only I believe, okay? It's only to believe in the journey. That's it, okay? You don't have any reason to compromise your life or sacrifice anything. If you think about the material things, we are the one who we're losing, we're spending, and nobody is participating in that. And I don't think anybody paid. If you paid and you you activated your account, you got previously the people who are not just customers, who are founding members from the past, they got their deposit back. And also, if they already had somebody, one sale, let's say, they already got their money back, and they have overused our products for a length of
Nobody has gotten their money back. I'm really fucking tired of hearing that. People paid that $97 to join, and you decided that O coins, which don't exist, each O coin equals $1. You just made that up. It's all pretend. So you gave them pretend money back that they could only spend the pretend money on OConnect. That's it. You did not give them back cash money into their bank account because you don't have a way of doing that because of all the processor nonsense. And you're going to sit here and claim that they got it back. And they all are believing that they got it back. That's the thing that really kills me. It's like, you guys don't seem to understand. You never did. It's fucking monopoly money. It's all pretend. It doesn't exist. He pocketed that $97 and gave you in return saying that I'm giving you this 97. because anything that price point he put on OConnect is also arbitrary, that he made up and decided, well, oh, got to spend this much amount on it. And, oh, I gave you this amount, so it's really this. It's all of it's made up. I don't see why that is so hard for people to like wrap their little heads around. So there was actually a team in Dubai. Well, apparently there was no team in Dubai until the SEC. That's interesting. There was no team in Dubai until the SEC filed the case. They hired everyone in October just to make their stronger. Wow. Monhun says the world's brightest minds who could work anywhere chose to volunteer their time and gift ONPASSIVE the founders with their brilliance in the name of uplifting humanity. Oh, yeah, sure. So they thought by having this team in Dubai was going to make their case with the SEC like stronger, or like they see we have this great team developing. Is that what they actually thought? I mean, I find that a little hard. And I will keep it a secret. It says that the Dubai IT team was hired in December. They were responsible for OConnect's newer version. Well, did a newer version ever come out? Because I don't see anything really that has changed other than anything maybe cosmetically. As far as I know, it's still janky-ass code. Still has terrible security. I wonder that, Joe. Did Ash repo the giveaway SUV and the iPhone? Yeah, I mean, they remember when all of the cars were allegedly being given away? Boy, that stopped. I mean, there's so many things that have stopped that he was flexing all over the place. As if all of those things meant that the company was being successful. It was all smoke and mirrors. Smoke and mirrors, smoke and mirrors. You'll be providing more information soon. I am the connection with one of their employees. Well, please let me know. And please, like, if you want to email me anything, please do. I appreciate it. And thank you very much for sharing with us, because I think it's very important for people to actually know the truth of what's going on and not just accept the bullshit that they're being told. So we appreciate you. SEC charged that Ash never intended to produce a working product. And guess what? It's still not working. You know, it still has major issues.
Months.
And it's kind of funny that there wasn't a product until there were charges by the SEC. Then all of a sudden it was pushed out.
So nobody can say I paid anything, to be honest with you. Like, you got value
What?
and access for it.
What? Nobody actually paid anything? What? This is the kind of bullshit that's coming out of your fucking mouth? I am just, okay, I got to hear that again. I've got to hear that again.
Founding members from the past, they got their deposit back. And also, if they already had somebody, one sale, let's say, they already got their money back. And they have overused our products for a length of months. So
what do you mean overused? You are the one, sir, who kept extending everything because you can't fucking pay anyone because you can't find a processor to work with your happy ass.
So nobody can say I paid anything, to be honest with you. Like, you got.
Okay, I'm nobody can say they paid anything. They all paid something. And now you're disqualifying the fact that they paid for OConnect, that they paid the $97. Oh, they got it back. They didn't get it back. They haven't been overusing anything.
Got value and access for years to the platform, whether it's the ecosystem or founders, and you still have access to both anyway. And all this,
Sorry.
These activities, whether the webinar, the testing, the brainstorming, everything that we've
Sorry, let me fix this because this is bothering me. How you can't see all of him.
been showing up all the time. So back to the change you're going to see is we're not going to say before it's done. We're not, and you know, this is not something radical. It's just like it makes sense for us to put our actions ahead of our words this time around, because I don't want to say it's my way, but the way it should be. Okay, the way it should be, or it should have been the first round. Okay, so everything is intact. Okay, I'm really and eagerly working so hard to make sure that we stack the cool, if you know what I mean, like to give more layers of, just to be realistic, because some other countries and languages are here. So we're accumulating the value. We're, in a way, we're going to give you more than you expect. Okay, that is my pledge. That is my commitment, and that is happening as we speak. Okay, so you're going to be really pleased for that belief. Okay, uh, and on the other hand, we want to remind you, I don't know if you paid attention or if you are like just getting engaged. The second and last message for the day is, I often said ONPASSIVE is phase one in our journey. Anybody remember that?
No. Does anybody remember him saying ONPASSIVE is phase one? I don't remember that. Is that something that I should just know? When was this stated? Can you point us to a time that this is when you said it? Can you give evidence of that? I'd like to see evidence. Let's see. Lamar says Ash never announced a launch ahead of time. He always gave a deadline, then missed it several times, and then random puts it in back office. Monhan says, remember Ash claimed that a single corporate webinar alone provided more value than the $97 founder fee. In his mind, founders have stolen from him even after paying him out of pocket twice. Oh, good Lord. It's hard to keep up with all the bullshit he spew over the years. Yep, Lamar, I agree with you. It's very hard to keep up with it. But this whole thing of like ONPASSIVE was phase one. When was that set? You know what? It would help, Ash, if you had a goddamn business plan and we could reference the business plan, because that's what actual businesses do, is they put together a fucking plan. Never seen one. There's no white papers you've published. I mean, there's just so much that you haven't done. And they're just sitting there just nodding away. Fuck.
So I wanted to think what could be phase 2 and 3 and all of that. So now we're going to zoom out a little bit, and I want you to imagine or envision as big as ONPASSIVE it is, and the concept. It's literally the new internet in a way, and as big as it is,
It's the new internet in a way. Okay, what does that even mean? How are you going to create a new internet? I'm confused. Just because you say it, that makes it true and makes it so? Monhan said he did talk about the physical products being a next phase when he claimed to have that perpetual energy thing, when he said founders might get a cut of non-SaaS revenue. They might, but you know, I don't expect that they will. Physical products, he didn't say when. And is that pleasure device, the robot? Because that's what it looks like to me. It looks like a pleasuring device.
zoom out, it becomes one section in a bigger scope and a bigger ecosystem. I really believe soon I will be able to show you the the blueprint to that, which is mind-boggling, and that's a good selling point for incredible talents across the globe to kind of like gather and flock to this concept. One thing I'm talking about, the technical people, they when they see what we're doing, this is really incredible. Okay, I was thinking that once we do the completion and use it for a while, then in a couple of years we go live with the other phases. When you get the bigger talent, when you get things moving on track, the pace that you like, then you say, okay, well, it can be done together. All right. So you see, okay, so wow, all this on passive, like by the time like your head is going to be spinning, and you say, well, let me just reflect back. Now you see another thing, you see another thing, and now you're going to understand this journey is not going to happen again. The concept is worth to fight for, and you're going to understand why am I.
But the thing is you're just saying concept. You're not saying what the concept is. You don't have anything that you don't even have a deck where you can show what all of this is about. All you have is your word salad. And yeah, right. At one point, he claimed Oconet cameras and other webinar hardware would be available within a few months of commercial launch. Of course, that didn't happen either. Yep. Launched this past September, to the public. And then he's trying to put that genie back in the bottle. That it's not a real launch. And Mordecai says, so data center moved to Amazon after Ash realized the cost of a data center. I think they were always using AWS. And I don't think he ever intended to actually create a data center. I think he just said a bunch of things to make people think that was something that he was going to do. And let's not forget the mobile data center too. That's just going to be traveling around. What about the cities he was going to create and the houses he was going to create? And, he had the answer to fix the water problem for developing countries. I mean, this man is just absolutely magical. He's just going to fix everything. You remember that bullshit? I do.
So stubborn and, really, really aggressive and bold when it comes to the completion of this. There's no ever compromise to the vision. And that's why we say do it or die. It's not just because of what you know. It's a very good part for those who are engaged. Not everybody at the same level. People say I treat everybody the same. Well, bogus. Okay, I don't treat everybody the same. I'm going to be truthful to you,
Okay,
and that's going to be in business, especially in business. Maybe your wise dad or grandpa, whatever he told you or she told you, ma, that yeah, treat everybody nicely and the same, all that. No, okay. How do you treat the go-getters or the heavy hitters or the believers or the loyal people as the same level as the nonsense people or the negative people or the non-productive people?
Okay, you're just like, again, putting down the people who paid money and joined. They're negative. They're not believers. They're not doing anything. They're not plugged in, whatever it is that he's saying. So he's definitely saying that basically, there are some people who are going to get more of the pie than others because of what they do. Now, I don't know exactly how he's tracking this of who's doing what. And like, how do you measure effort? You can't. You can't measure effort. How do you compare effort from one person to another? Because what may be easy for one person to do, that may be difficult for somebody else to do and out of their comfort zone. And to me, this makes me very upset for people who don't have a team, or maybe they have 5 people or 10 people or maybe 20 people, just a few. And maybe those people are not very active because things haven't happened and they stopped believing because they were expecting for this to like kick off a lot sooner in terms of actually getting some money in there. Because let's not forget, people did not join this to sit around and wait for years until like they could eventually collect apples. They joined so they could make money now. They were looking for this to start much sooner rather than it being much later. And here we are, close to year 6, and then we'll be pushing into year 7. That's really shitting on people who joined you, in my opinion. And it makes me angry for those people who are still believing, still showing up to these webinars, and their heart and soul are into it. And you are sitting here and telling them you're not going to get the same as somebody else. And that's something we figured out a long time ago. You know, it's kind of like that quote in Animal Farm where there's, you know, what is it? Some are more equal than others. And that's exactly what this feels like. Some are more equal than others. And all of that is arbitrary. It's all subjective.
You don't treat people the same. You treat them, you give them your time, your attention, your passion according to their value to the business and to the market. You don't give them just the same attention. There are people who probably you're not going to talk to them based on their level of their mindset. Their mentality is very destructive and disappointing. So it's better for us to give that time, that energy to the people that are really willing. I don't want to say be coachable, but they're willing to ride along and go the journey and go walk the second mile. Of course, you don't treat them the same. So I just want to end with that, saying that based on the quality of the people, you can definitely have a better and more accurate roadmap.
And
So everything is clear.
define what you mean by quality of people. How do you define the quality of people? What criteria are you using? How do you measure that? I want to know so that the founders can know, so they have something to go by. And so that they know if they do X, Y, and Z, you will do X, Y, and Z. You know, tit for tat. Why can't you define something for them so they know what is expected of them and they can decide to do it or not do it, instead of you arbitrarily just wanting to punish people because they're not doing enough according to you, which is not something they were told when they initially joined. Like, oh yeah, there's going to be some that get treated better because they're doing X, Y, and Z. And if you're not doing that, don't expect much. I mean, come on.
In my mind, and I'm in a stage where I've never been more relaxed and happy and excited and passionate and confident that now we're good. Okay. Yeah, things happen, unfortunate things, and they're ugly. I'm not saying little things are not, no, they're not. No, they're very impactful. Sadly, there is evil. There is people are different qualities. Okay. And this is a people business. So everything relies on the people. But we're made of the good stuff. We're made of gold and the good character. As they say, 80% psychology and mental, 20% mechanics. We got both. We got 100% ability to drive this to the very top. That's all I wanted to say today. I don't know how can you package it. How can you recap it in smart, James Bond, powerful red language.
Bond.
Mr. Universe.
Okay, so all of that nonsense that he said, all of his word salad, he's expecting them to like know what he said when he didn't say anything, interpret what he said so that it makes sense, even though that's impossible to do. And that means that they are going to be reading in between the lines what they believe that he said, which we, again, can also do, because I guarantee you we're hearing something completely different. And what makes one person more valid than the other in terms of what they are hearing. It would really help if you documented stuff so that people could actually read it and be like, okay, here are my expectations. This is what I need to do. This is what I'll receive from doing it. Here is the comp plan. This is what I need to do when we're able to actually have processors. This is how I expect to get paid. This is the length of time that I expect to be paid by each month. I mean, like, just come up with something. Document this, all this shit of just saying stuff and never documenting anything, except for people taking notes and then putting them in the back office and thinking that's enough to suffice everything. Because I have a feeling if you took all of those notes and started like combining everything, you'd be getting different stories all over the place. In fact, that would be a really good exercise to do. To see like how much of it is the same, how much of it is different, and distill it down to synthesize each one, summarize, and find what is different, when it changed, all that kind of stuff. Compare notes, compare word salad. Monhan says everyone has an equal right to inequality and ONPASSIVE.
You have the most powerful language by far,
Oh,
Ash,
Lord.
and you know.
I wish.
Hey, 1.4 million
so
people
much.
would disagree with you. I can assure you that you are definitely the most powerful speaker that I have ever met.
That one, I agree with you. Absolutely.
Oh, he liked that.
So I hope
he
you
liked being told that he's a powerful speaker. He was like, oh, yeah, that's me. I know it. Woo, look at me go. Real modest, huh? Meanwhile, he has said nothing that makes any sense.
understand business is better than usual. Okay, it's now been and being corrected. Don't judge by the details; they're temporary. Okay, big picture is we're headed to a better phase now, a bigger vision that you will.
Ash, what are the different phases? Why don't you document them so that the founders can see what are the different phases? What are the targets of each phase? How long do you expect to reach until you reach each target? And what are the milestones within that? You know, like an actual plan, a project plan, a business plan. Kind of would be nice if you had both.
Start finding out when the time permits, as well as we want to make sure we rock your world. We want to impress you. I love that. I enjoy it. I don't want just to, oh, okay, you're able to pull it through. No, I don't live for average or mediocrity. There are other things are average, Chris, in my life that but to be practical, I aim for something significant in a positive way. Thank you so much for listening. If you want to wrap it up now, or if you want to catch up about my day tomorrow, but offline.
But before
Okay,
go ahead, Red.
I was going to say I'll stop recording now, and then we can have a chat. I think what's been said is exactly what people want to hear, and then we can have a little chat.
Perfect. Fantastic.
Hey, Ash, on behalf of all of us, you're
Please.
probably going to feel it tonight. You got quite a bit of prayers that'll be going out tonight to pray for your doctors, wisdom, knowledge, your strength. And that's a good thing. And I'm pretty sure probably about 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you're going to feel the love. So that's the same love you give us. So we do appreciate what you're doing, and we do wish you all the best on your procedure tomorrow.
I love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh, yeah. At midnight, I have to start fasting. Like I'm having lunch at midnight. Of course, I'm going to be fasting anyway.
I will be sending
Yeah.
you water and fish pictures at 12:01, just to let you know.
Chris, please behave yourself. Don't tell anybody about the details. Guys, anybody who's listening, it's a very, I don't want to say minor, but it's nothing massive. It's a small procedure. I have ingrown, whatever they call it. It's skin, okay, in the external canal of my ear, not internally. That has to be taken care of, and it's been there for years. Just to let you know, it's not like something, but it's been getting more larger. So it's nothing about enlargement. It's about reduction or removal.
Of a skin tag.
Yeah, well, next time we see you, we're not going to see that forehead like come down a little bit or the hair's a little to the side. Nothing like that, right?
Oh. Chris,
well,
if you read or leak what I'm about to send you, I'm going to sue you. Okay?
yeah. Oh, Lord.
But I want everybody to see your face when you read it.
I'm waiting. Oh, boy.
Read it. Put your head up so we can see your face.
Now I know why you're going to be off for 2 weeks. Oh, disclaimer.
I will never forgive you if you leak it.
No, I won't. I won't even share it with these two guys right here. Can't do it.
No, these two are okay, but they have the same NDA.
That's too funny.
Hey, it's one anesthesia, so do it all.
Oh, Lord. Too funny.
Oh, I still didn't type everything. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you left a few things out, I think, but it's okay. No. Oh, what? No, that's a good one. You're muted.
No,
Oh.
no, you've knocked something off, Ash, because we can't hear you.
Your headset went off. There, study that skull, people.
No.
Well, I'm for one thankful. I know you guys are that he
Absolutely, yeah.
It was a last minute thing. I mean, last minute. So I'm glad we did it.
I'll obviously I'll render this down and then get it to you, Marty.
Alrighty.
Marty, you're not.
I'm glad to hear what he said.
So
I expected it, just didn't know, It just everything came.
Have another go, Ash. There you go.
Chris.
That wasn't on the list. Oh man. Gonna get me in trouble, you know that, Ash. Hold on. Whew. Let's see. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, I just got a. Would you guys like to see? So let me see if I can find something else. I'm just going to keep letting you listen to this, but I think I may have found something else too that we might.
Oh man, I'm torturing them. I can't do it.
I know everybody's going to pay you to tell them.
Well, I won't tell them. But it's funny. We do wish you well, though, brother.
So,
We wish you well.
yeah, everything will be fine, but I don't know how I'm going to function. Never done it. I don't know how it is. Maybe somebody else did it. Listen, guys. Okay, very simple. Okay, we want to make sure that we over deliver better than you expected for as a compensation to your commitment in a way. And on the other side is it just we've added to the phase right now the bigger picture. So you're going to be blown away. Make no mistake. And we got this. So with that, up to you, however you want to package it. But just make sure that the details are by design are unnecessary at the moment. Why? And if you hear it, we're not going to come and defend it. Okay, anything, don't allow that. I'm telling you, I'm here, and we're doing the right thing. We couldn't be here if we're not doing the right thing. Make no mistake. Okay, and at the same time, it's normal. Things can go up and down as long as you have that clean intention and the ability. Okay, we have both. We have the combination of the right character mentality, at the same time the mechanics or the technical ability to do that. Listen, life is tough, okay, in general, and we didn't come here to make it harder on anybody or to cost you anything. We came here just to, we believe what we have is gonna impact your life positively, is gonna ease it, is gonna improve it. That's why we're fighting. I didn't come here so I can, my life didn't change. It got more overwhelming and obviously more beat up, beating to my situation. So trust me, it's not a walk in the park. It's not a slam dunk for me. It's a fight. It's an aggressive, hostile battle, day in, day out. It's not like you get a break once in a while. No, every day is uglier than the day before in terms of to make sure this is done for the masses. And that's why we're at ease. Okay, so because we're doing the right thing, no matter how anybody outside try to paint it, it's irrelevant. Somebody's opinion of you doesn't have to become a reality, and it's not the truth. They think I'm telling you what I think and what I believe and what I'm doing. You don't have to take it as definite. Look at me, okay? But you have no reason not to believe it. And at the same time, it's not costing you.
Cost
If
me time.
any other opinion that is just distracting you from a possible dream is doing damage to you. They're not doing justice to you, and they're distracting, stealing your dream away. If they give you a better solution or equal solution, I'll be the first subscriber to that vision. I'll be ahead of you, before you. If it's possible, I'm not gonna put anybody down. But if you're talking about bogus ghosts and bats and anonymous creatures, please don't waste your time. Come on, grow. Life is precious, okay? Like I said, it's tough, so you want to make the best out of it. So come on.
Again, what is he even talking about? What is this man even talking about? Thank you, Magical Nev, for letting them know we use words here. We use words. We do not speak using emojis. So please, please use your words and not emojis. 1 or 2 emojis is okay, but we don't need to speak in all kinds of emojis all over the place. I would rather have you speak with words, written words in the chat. But I mean, I'm still going like every time he opens his mouth, I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, dude. Even he forgot what he was talking about. That's the problem. And I feel like even he forgets like what his point is going to be. And so we all are just wandering around going like, what the fuck? You know, which is a bit cray cray.
And let's respect our intelligence and don't waste your time. You see where we go and what we've done and what we're doing, and anything else is just a waste of your time or stealing your dreams.
How are you stealing dreams when you are providing factual information? See, that to me doesn't make any kind of sense. I mean, he is not providing anything where he is like has anything documented. It's just all out of his mouth. And again, I think it would be a great exercise to be able to see what he said at different points in time and see like, okay, did that happen? No, it didn't. Did he say it again somewhere else? Did that happen? No, he didn't. You know, like I think that would be very useful because it will show a pattern. And I think it's important to know, well, what is the pattern here? Because if you're involved in this, I think it should be important to you to know what type of communication pattern is going on. Because I really don't like it when blame is always cast on founders. I think that is so very unfair. Take responsibility. And that's something that he fails to do each and every time. Welcome, Jay. I'm so sorry if I did not say your name correctly. Please speak in words and not emojis, you know, in further conversation. I'd appreciate that very much. Thank you.
That's it.
I wish I'd have
Thank
recorded
you.
all that.
Thank you for coming on and stamping what I believe. It was good for me. Very good.
You didn't know.
Is your wife back?
She just walked in the door, and that's why I'm breathing easier, you know, because I started to believe you for a minute, you know. So, yeah, she's good.
He really has doubts. He's really anxious to see if she's going to be back. Listen, DD, Don DeGarmo, I mean, you're not going to find a better man in New Jersey.
This is one time she doesn't believe you.
We're asking you, we're looking for you, we're asking you to go back home.
Oh, that's necessary.
Give him another chance.
Yeah, only in New Jersey.
All right. I'm proud of you, Red.
Exactly, Salami. He is warning about listening to, quote, outsiders. Whenever you are told to only listen to what I'm saying or only read what we're saying, and you're not allowed, you're being told you're basically not allowed to go and find information on your own and do your own research, that is a warning. You should always be able to choose yourself. If you want to go listen to someone, go listen to them. If you want to find information on your own, go do it. Go look for people who are not just going, everything is rosy with ONPASSIVE. Go and see what other people are saying. And if they have valid points, are they showing you sources that they're using? Or are they just, you know, saying a bunch of stuff without ever providing any sources? Like tonight, I showed you the source from the mediation and how the case has not been won. There was one meeting. That's it. Please do your own research. Always do your own research.
The gym, you're going to probably motivate me again.
It's got to be done, brother.
Absolutely.
Hey, as said, there's no better man in New Jersey for you than me. Don't say anything wise. I'm on a live, okay?
We love the Digarmos. Thank you so much. Brother Chris, thank you for arranging this because it was quickie, and I hope it was worth it.
It was
I don't want to take more of your time.
Definitely worth it.
He
Thank you
knows
for
to
the
go to
prayers.
Michigan. He knows to go to
The
Michigan.
juice was definitely worth the squeeze.
Say it again,
Okay.
Red.
The juice was definitely worth the squeeze.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I hope so.
Speaking of
See
squeeze,
you soon.
the operation, we'll talk about it later.
As soon as I'm able to, of course we might be. I'm not dying, by the way. Okay. As soon as I'm able to, I'll reconnect with you. It might be bigger.
Oh, but
You're
remember one
You're
thing.
trouble, Chris.
Remember one thing, Ash. You have a name. You have a name for it.
Mm.
No.
The operation? What do you mean?
The outcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might be lighter. I don't know, bigger or lighter afterwards, but
You could call it Junior. You know.
I like
Okay.
that. That's good. There's that. My name is Asmahan Mufareh, and I'm your friend.
Making fun of the guy before he even gets the
I
operation.
can't hear you. One ear is not working.
Keep him laughing. Keep him laughing. Prayers to you,
Yeah.
brother. Thank you for
No,
coming.
I'm good. I'll be fine. I'll reach out as soon as I'm able to, or my wife will be
It's
contacting you.
tag.
Pictures. We'd like to see some pictures.
Well, in those gowns, you know how to wear those, don't you, Chris?
No.
Yeah, I can't
No picture.
I don't want to see pictures.
Just
I
not
better
passing
leave.
away in that hospital.
I'm
No,
I'm
this is
meeting-
going to get
I'm
bad.
meeting-
That's right. You better save yourself. Yeah.
Brother, I'm meeting some intelligent people. I better go now.
Yeah.
I don't want to go with that tone now. And they're
No,
like,
you
"Ah,
gotta
what are you
go. You gotta go. Rethink things. Yeah.
All right, take care. God bless all. Thank you.
Thanks very much,
Yeah,
Ash.
thank you.
Cheers. Well, there you have it.
Yeah, that was nice. Red, appreciate you jumping in.
No worries, my friend.
My fault, guys. I first said, because Ash said, let's do it on Red's Live. And then we realized, Red realized before I realized, we better do this on Out Connect so we can get everybody. So appreciate your patience. We had literally, when he told me 19 minutes to 11, and then it was 15 minutes, and that was 10 minutes. Red had the link ready by 9 minutes to 11. So appreciate your hard work there, brother.
Thanks. Thanks for entering the world of Unpassive.
Hey, Billy, do you know something? It just goes to show how quick and easy it is to set
Oh,
it up.
yeah, no doubt. No doubt about it.
Very good.
Very simple.
So it worked really, really well. So
Did they just mute themselves? I know their mics are all on, but you can't hear anything. All right.
CoreLogic just came out with a study saying that home prices in a lot of the areas in the United States should.
Well, guys, that was that. What did you think? Do you feel like you were enlightened? Because I certainly don't. All right, so I wanted to share something else with you because this is important, because earlier we talked about this company. They could operate like real companies and actually schedule webinars more than 18 minutes in advance. Yeah, right. Actually have a plan. Imagine that. I mean, it's just so scary to actually have a plan. Can you call me silly to, for them to have a plan? Because they certainly never seem to have one. Okay. All right. All right. So here's another article I forgot that I wanted to share with you guys, but this is about Invita. I'm so sorry. I'm probably not saying it correctly myself. About the company that Red had just discovered that creates the chips that all the AI companies are using. NVIDIA. Did I say it right or did I just screw it up? You have a headache now? Yeah, you probably, most people probably do. Okay. The U.S. is particularly focused on high volume sales as the UAE and Saudi Arabia look to import massive quantities of chips used in AI data centers. Part of the concern is that the technology can be diverted to Chinese companies, which are largely cut off from the cutting edge American chips. Okay, let me get a sip. U.S. officials have slowed down the issuing of licenses to chip makers such as NVIDIA and Advanced Micro Devices for large-scale artificial intelligence AI accelerators shipments to the Middle East, according to people familiar with the matter, while officials conduct a national security review of AI development in the region. That killed more brain cells than a few gallons of vodka. Wow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. NVIDIA. I'm saying NVIDIA. So did I say it right? Okay. It is unclear how long the review will take, nor is there a concrete definition of what constitutes a large shipment, said the people who asked not to be identified because the discussions are private. Officials are particularly focused on high volume sales, the people said, as countries including the UAE and Saudi Arabia look to import massive quantities of the chips used in AI data centers. AI accelerators, a category pioneered by NVIDIA, help data centers process the flood of information needed to develop AI chatbots and other tools. They have become essential equipment for companies and governments seeking to build AI infrastructure. In October, the Commerce Department added much of the Middle East to chip export restrictions that originally focused on China and a handful of other foreign adversaries. That meant companies needed a special U.S. government license and a ship cutting-edge semiconductors and chip-making tools to countries such as Saudi Arabia and the UAE. U.S. officials have delayed or not responded to license applications submitted under that rule in the past several weeks, some of the people said. That includes attempts to sell to customers in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, according to one of the people. In addition to NVIDIA and AMD, Intel, and startup Cerebra Systems, I'm not sure if I said that correctly, also make accelerator chips. The four companies declined to comment. Okay, so that was something that I wanted to share with you guys. And then I also want to share with you this bit about, let me share this with you guys too. Unicorn companies explained, because, I think just Ash has been running around saying, we're a unicorn before we're born. We're a unicorn. And I don't think you can just go around and proclaim that you're a unicorn company. You got to have something to back that shit up. Thank you, Monhun. They can't buy AI chips that they still claim Dubai is the world's AI hub. That's very interesting. NVIDIA, I'm sorry, I'm still probably screwing it up. I will go look it up, how it's pronounced, so I can hear it, because I'm obviously, even you guys trying to spell it out for me, I'm having an issue with it. So I apologize for not saying things correctly. And see, that's all it takes, is to say, hey, I'm sorry, I did say that correctly, but you know what? None of them seem to ever be able to admit they do something that's incorrect, which I always find a bit weird. Okay. In this article, what is a unicorn company? Who coined the term unicorn company? How is unicorn company value determined? The rise of unicorn companies, the characteristics of a unicorn startup, the leading unicorn companies in 2023. And I showed you the list last week of the 1,200 unicorn companies as of March 2024. Are you going to be the next unicorn founder? Okay. A unicorn company is the equivalent of winning a gold medal at the Olympics, or your band's music album being certified platinum. For entrepreneurs, it means you've hit the pinnacle of what most in your field dream of. It's not easy to achieve, but more are achieving unicorn status than ever. With that in mind, it's worth examining how they get there and what it means to be one. What is a unicorn company? And notice none of this has ever been discussed by Ash or Red or Marty or Chris, but they've just gone along with the show of like, oh yeah, we're a unicorn. In simple terms, there are two requirements for a unicorn company. Firstly, it needs to be privately held. Secondly, it needs to be valued at over $1 billion. We call them unicorns because they are traditionally extremely rare. A startup must be doing an incredible job of addressing a market need to attract that level of interest from investors. With that said, we've seen a herd of unicorns emerge in recent years. For entrepreneurs, it's now an audacious goal rather than lightning in a bottle style miracle. It's certainly challenging, just as winning that gold medal is, but it's achievable. It all comes down to how well you formulate and execute the startup plan. Where's the startup plan for ONPASSIVE? I don't think they have one. Who coined the term unicorn company? It seems strange that unicorn is such a ubiquitous term now because it was only coined in 2013. Eileen Lee, who sorted through more than 60,000 tech startups, discovered that between 2003 and 2013, just 39 of them were valued at over $1 billion. This then seemed like a good threshold to distinguish between the greatest success stories and the rest of the pack. How is a unicorn company value determined? Because unicorn companies are startups that are still building revenue streams and onboarding customers, valuation works differently than with established companies. You can't look at the annual report and extrapolate the company value from the revenue generated throughout the year. Instead, unicorn companies are valued based on what investors think a company is worth. As a simple example, if an investor takes a 20% equity stake in a startup for $200 million, the investor believes that the startup is worth $1 billion. It's critical to understand that this really is an on-paper value. ByteDance, the Chinese super unicorn behind TikTok, has only raised $13.1 billion in venture capital, but is valued at $360 billion. When we talk about unicorn companies, we refer to the post-money value and not the actual equity funding put into the startup. The rise of unicorn companies from just 39 between 2003 and 2013, the number of unicorn companies has accelerated rapidly over the last decade. The question is why? How many unicorn companies are there? There are now over 1,200 unicorns worth over $3,840 billion in total. This is some extreme acceleration within the club and has led many to wonder whether the frenzy of startup investment is too hot. In other words, are we facing a potential .com scenario where what we thought were unicorns are really just horses? Yeah, I've been kind of wondering about that myself. Why are so many unicorn companies emerging? When you look at where unicorns are emerging, it would be difficult to argue that investor hype was not part of the reason. For example, last year, cryptocurrency and blockchain startups accounted for around half of the really big emerging unicorns. Cryptocurrency was the hot trend before the meltdown of FTX put a chill on that space, at least temporarily. Investors wanted to make sure they were part of the conversation. So there was fierce competition to find and back exciting startups. However, it would be also inaccurate to say that overenthusiasm was the sole reason for the rapid growth in the unicorn population. Remember, being a privately held company is a key characteristic of a unicorn. Traditionally, the only Sorry about that. Traditionally, the only way to get a company to $1 billion in value was to take it public via an IPO. This is changing, however. Startups with a strong founding team and great ideas to address market problems can raise large amounts of private funding earlier on, resulting in those billion-dollar valuations before going public. The characteristics of a unicorn startup. The threshold for a unicorn startup is clear. It needs a $1 billion valuation, and this is something that all unicorns obviously share. Within that, however, we also see several trends that most startups that achieve this valuation share. Unicorn companies are examples of disruptive innovation, and that is a word that you often hear him use, is that they're disruptive. And I think that word is chosen to imply more like, go along with that unicorn status. Many great startups have incredible products, but never reach unicorn status. And within the case of ONPASSIVE, we have a product that doesn't seem to work that well, and yet he's claiming, as our other founders, that it's a unicorn. Because think about all the unicorn things that you see posted on social media about ONPASSIVE. The billion-dollar valuation only comes from disruptive innovation. It is for companies that change the way we think about a sector and challenge what we take for granted. Google, the first super unicorn, changed the way we interacted with the internet. Airbnb challenged the monopoly that hotels held. And Uber showed us the weaknesses in the taxi industry. Likewise, crypto fintechs have been the biggest unicorns in recent years because they are extremely disruptive to traditional finance. A unicorn company is probably built on technology. About 87% of unicorns have some form of software at the core of their product, and a further 7% are focused on technology hardware. You can start up a business in any sector and offer any product and service. However, unless it's tech, it's unlikely to gain the investment needed to be a unicorn. A unicorn company is probably consumer focused. B2B companies have a tougher time achieving unicorn status. Around 62% of unicorns are business to consumer. This is a story of scale. Business to consumer companies can tap into billions of people if they become essential to day-to-day life. Business companies that target the right sector with a solution that solves a problem can still achieve unicorn status, but only if investors are impressed by the TAM. What is the TAM? I'm not familiar with that acronym. And the potential to scale. Can anybody say what a TAM is? Because I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. A unicorn company grows fast. On average, a unicorn company will punch through the $1 billion barrier in 5 years. That's blistering fast growth. A unicorn company is focused on going through as many rounds of large funding as quickly as possible. It's a risk because if the market doesn't move with the startup, the value can collapse. It's also the only way a startup can stay ahead of the competition and ensure that it is the disruptor. TAM, total addressable market. Thank you. Potential customers for an offering. Thank you very much. Thank you, Steamship. Oh, hey, Steamship, it's good to see you. They're disruptive only in that their endless webinars have completely disrupted founders' lives. Yep, I would agree with that. Okay, and Al's is saying total market demand is basically what Ash and the other people mean when they say market cap. Okay. The leading unicorn companies in 2023. Unicorn companies can pop up anywhere in the world. 10 nations as varied as the US, Israel, Brazil, and South Korea have at least 10 unicorns and are centers of global startup culture. However, unicorns can be found in Mexico, the UAE, Estonia, Czech Republic, Bermuda, and Seychelles. Did I say Seychelles? Is that how you say that? Because I'm never sure how to say this particular word. One really interesting trend to watch in recent years, China has challenged the US and particularly Silicon Valley as the home of unicorn startups. China now has the 2 largest unicorns, and the percentage of overall unicorn population is growing every year. The 10 largest unicorn companies currently are ByteDance, and that's the company that owns TikTok, 360 billion, and I'm not going to read all of that stuff, sorry. Ant Group, 200 billion value. Stripe, 152 billion value. SpaceX, 100 billion value. Shein, isn't Shein one of those places kind of like Temu where there's a lot of products but they're like really cheap? Because I would not get anything from there. It targets Gen Z. Okay, to me, it just seems like a bunch of stuff that's affordable, but there's not a lot of quality, just from things that I've seen. Rivian, I'm not sure how to say that. 67.7 billion. Reliance Retail, 63.4 billion. And I don't know how to say that one either. 60.9 billion. And that's it's TikTok's main rival in China. Popular app. Okay. Roblox. Isn't that a game? Yep, it's gaming. Okay. That's something I know that kids play. Nubank. Are you going to be the next unicorn founder? Building a company to $1 billion valuation isn't easy and never will be. No matter how enthusiastic investors are about your sector, you need a truly exceptional startup to have this achievement in your sights. At the same time, the unicorn herd is no longer an exclusive club. Where once you needed to be the darling of Silicon Valley, now you can reach these lofty heights from anywhere in the world. It's entirely down to the quality of your idea and your ability to execute it. The Unicorn Club is becoming a true meritocracy. And so ready to launch, blah, 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 blah. That is pretty interesting. What do you guys think of that? Because I don't think that they have, meaning the founders, have a true understanding of what a unicorn company actually is. But they just go along with whatever Ash has said, because apparently whatever Ash says is golden, even though they never fact check any of it. Okay. All right. Hang on just a second. I'm going to need to move things around. Okay, talk amongst yourselves, please. Okay, there, full screen. Okay, and crap, now I can't get the, okay, I gotta go over here to do that. Okay, so this was from tonight on, what is it, the O show, whatever the heck they call it. No audio. Okay. Hang on. I'll try this again. Can you guys hear that? Let me know if you can hear it. It's so weird. Sometimes I have to have both things on the same screen. Sometimes one can be there and one can be somewhere else. It's really annoying. You still don't have sound? Well, dang it. Okay. Let me stop this. Okay. And this is going to be tricky because I can't go full screen because I won't be able to see it so you guys can actually hear it. Maybe I'm not going to be able to play it for you guys. I just don't have a way to do it. So I will have to see if I can download that somehow and share it with you because I cannot go full screen and show it to you and then come over here and present it and put it on screen, because then I will have no way to be able to do that because that screen will be taking up my full screen where you guys will be able to hear it. I don't know if that makes sense to you or not, but it's not going to work. I'm not going to be able to share that with you guys. I mean, the only thing I can try is maybe if I put it on a different over here, and I don't think this is going to work because you couldn't hear it over there. No, I can't do it, guys. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work. You're not going to be able to hear it. So you guys probably still can't hear that. So sorry, I'm not going to be able to play that for you guys because there's no way that I can see StreamYard at the same time and have that full screen at the same time. I can't do it so that you guys can hear anything. So I apologize. You're not going to be able to hear this. I'll listen to it later, though, for sure. Still nothing. Yeah, I didn't think so. Okay. Hang on just a second. I'm checking because I think it is now somewhere maybe that I can. Let me see. Okay, let me see. All right. I don't know if this is going to be the same issue or not. Okay, let me bring this over here. Okay, now I can't get it to go back. Okay. Okay, now let me know if you guys can hear it.
Top of the world, eh? Well, I've been on top of the world since the day I started in this company. And I'm going to probably repeat what Ron just said. It's the place where everyone should be. It's definitely the place that I want to be. It's amazing. It's educational. Everything about it I love. There's just so many things you can say about the top of the world. I myself have came out of my shell and am able to talk about it every single day, and not to change people's minds, just show them a better way. I gave up on changing people's minds about 2 years ago, and if they liked it, they got it. If they didn't, I just moved on, because there's 8 billion people in this world, and I personally want to talk to each one of them. And I know 8 billion people are not always going to agree with me, but if they just listen and learn about what this company does. Someone's
Bruce,
Bruce,
mute yourself. Bruce Gerstein, mute yourself, please. Thank you.
And that's live, folks. That's how we do it. It's just an amazing thing where we're going into countries that are really bad off every single day, and you see what their top of the world is. Their top of the world, maybe I just want to make $100 a month.
And I'm just going to say, and that's one of the reasons I have a problem with this, is that you're going into countries where people do not have like disposable income, and you're snaking your way in there and getting people to join something that they're not going to be able to afford to keep paying for any of these damn products. I mean, the other day, Queen had a founder on who had 100 people underneath him. So he said, Derek, 100 people on his team. How many people bought OConnect? 5. 5 people out of 100. Somebody do the calculation and tell me what the percentage is, because I know that's low. And I'm like, only 5? That's pretty damn scary. So people either don't believe in the product, can't afford the product, or don't believe in it and can't afford it. Or maybe they believe in it and can't afford it. I mean, there's just a whole host of things. But that's a problem when your own people are like, no, can't get it. And you thought everybody's going to get your damn product. And they're not.
Month. You know, that's their top of the world.
5% think
My top of the world is I want to quadruple and keep quadrupling and quadrupling and quadrupling. And then everyone's got that different top, I think. But I think Ash Mufareh has put us all on the same level as far as we all have the opportunity to talk about it every day. We have the opportunity to learn more about it each day, which I try to do. I'm not perfect at it. I have a lot of people ask me questions, and I try to answer them as best I can. Am I perfect at it? No, I'm horrible at that, actually. But trying to be on the top of the world is not always easy, because you have those people that are throwing rocks at you. They're throwing ropes to try to pull you down. And I just refuse to let them do that. I talked about that today on a webinar, and it's just negative people suck the life out of you. Small-minded people suck the life out of you. And I don't want to insult anybody. When I say small minds, I take it as they just don't get it. I don't call anyone dumb or stupid except Marty DeGarmo. And that's because we play.
Okay, this is something that I find to be highly disturbing because, again, it's denying reality. Chris couldn't explain to you what the fuck a unicorn company is. I mean, now they'll probably talk about this next week. And I bet you anything, they don't know anything about, chips, and like that Dubai is really not the AI hub of the world. I mean, I think, who said it? Did Ash say that, proclaim that? And so they're just like, yeah, it's the AI hub of the world. Yeah. They just believe anything he says. No fact checking. Because they're encouraged to only believe what's in the back office, only believe what comes from corporate, which translates into whatever comes out of Ash's mouth. And I'd say probably, any of the leaders, obviously, that they know things. They have some secret knowledge. They're trying to figure out what the hell Ash is saying, just like everybody else. They don't have any secret knowledge. But Ash wants you to think he has secret knowledge. He doesn't.
Play around with that. But I think no matter who you are or how smart you think you are, how educated you are, anyone could do this. And I believe that's what puts us on the top of the world. That's what he designed it for. It wasn't about just for the Jennifers or the Rons or the Narelles or the Miriams. It was about everyone, regardless of your religion, race, color, size, whatever it is. He said, listen, just come on, check it out. And really, that's the easiest part for me is, hey, man, just check it out. If they don't want to check it out, guess what? I'm not going to force them. One time, they got one shot. Here it is. Here's the information. Look at it. You don't even have to tell me what you think. I'll see you next time. That puts me at the top of the world because I know I tried. I will not argue about this company. I will not try to, how do I say? I'm not going to negotiate with anybody on how I feel about something. No one's going to change my ways. And that puts me at the top of my world. When I stopped worrying about what other people thought is when I really.
Okay, that's very concerning. It's like, nope, I know the truth. No one's going to change it because I know the truth. Not even open to looking at anything that has truth to it. not willing to research anything outside of what Ash says. That's the message I'm picking up. And that's really scary, that you're only going to believe what you're told, and you're not going to go and be like, let me go check this out. Like, is this actually the case? And honestly, what I think happened with Chris is, he overspent and went and got this RV. We haven't heard much about that lately, have we? I thought he was supposed to be traveling all over the place. Does he still have the RV? Did he get repossessed? I mean, I don't know. But I found that whole thing to be really odd. I think he only went out and got it because he thought he was going to be rolling in it month after month. And then lo and behold, that's not happening. But he's still going to be like, everything's fine. I mean, the boy is like on fire, refusing to believe that he's on fire. He doesn't see the flames. That's what I think is really sad.
They started to grow. And I'm not kidding you, for many years, I cared what people thought, even if it was negative, and I let that suck the life out of me. I do not want the life sucked out of me. I want to put life into people through ONPASSIVE, just by talking to them about it. That puts me at the top of the world. When I can come off the phone or just a text message, someone sending me a great thought or a great prayer, God, Chris, I love this. I love this. I love this. I get that more than anything all day long. Top of the world for me. And then I'll get a couple people calling me a nut job. I'm still at the top of the world. Now I'm just their nut job on the top of the world. I refuse to accept what anyone says bad about this company or even my friends on here. And I have a lot of them. And we do have people in ONPASSIVE that are small-minded. They really are. They're not seeing the big picture. They're worried about one thing. They take their personal problems and they want to blame it all on Asmahan Mufareh or ONPASSIVE for, this hasn't happened yet, I'm waiting. Listen, if I didn't retire, I'd still be working. I don't wait for anyone, but I have patience when I see something this good. Hey, it's going to take a little bit of time. I talked about it today about Usain Bolt, who spent 4 years of his life working for 9 seconds. And then I see people on here who get upset because something just didn't happen the way they wanted it to. I have personal issues like everyone else. I don't blame it on anyone but myself. I won't blame it on a company or a man or a woman. It's what I deal with.
But guess what? That man and that company, they can do no wrong. They do not take responsibility. I mean, I applaud you, Chris, if you take responsibility for, for whatever it is that you are referencing, your state in life, maybe bad investment choices sometimes, maybe good ones. If you're taking responsibility for that, for your own actions, that's great. And as adults, we should. But the man that you look up to doesn't. He's always pointing the finger elsewhere. And most importantly, he's pointing it to the founders. And that I find extremely disturbing. Does that not bother you? That he continues to just belittle them? Or are you perfectly okay with him doing that? Just bashing them all the time and making them feel like shit.
What Asmahan Mufareh repeatedly said, don't change what you do. Let me get this going. All right. Let me pull you higher than the top. But I got to do what I got to do. He doesn't say, I think I can do it. He says, I have to do it. All right. What's his reason for have to do it? What's his high top? Is he cares about people. And it really does bother me when people say things that aren't true. I stop.
If he cared about people, why doesn't he have a business plan? Why doesn't he have a project plan? Why hasn't he documented anything about the pay structure? Why isn't anything clearly documented so people can actually look at it and understand it? Why is everything just spoken and then what is said changes? Because it really seems to put people at an unfair situation, like they can never win because they can't go and find, like, okay, let me go and look at that. Does it say this? There's nothing for them to verify anything. And I find that very disturbing.
Watching those things, because I'm thinking, man, I think when you hear a negative person's opinion, even though how strong faith you are and what you believe in, it makes you think in the back of your mind, listen, I only want to think positive thoughts about Unpassive. Someone's going to try to put something negative, including my family. You know what I say? You don't understand. It's okay. Just don't worry about it. Go on your life. Let me stay at the top, and I'll wave down there to you every once in a while. You know, look, I'm still here. I'm not going nowhere, folks. I like being on the top of the mountain. I like being in the clouds. I like being in the sky. I like looking down on people to say, who can I help? Rather than just say, screw you. I don't want to say screw you to anybody. I want to say, listen, yep, I will be making calls once this all gets going. Say, remember that thing you kind of belittled me? You know, come on, man, check it out. I want this for you. Because most of those people that belittled me or us or Unpassive, they have nothing going for themselves. Literally, maybe just a job. And maybe that's what they think life's about. Life isn't about working 30 years. It's a horrible life. Even though that's what we were programmed to do, that's what was there. And then Asmahan Mufareh come on, made something brand new, unique, which everyone says, oh my God, there's no way, Chris. I heard there's no way 1 million times in 3.5 years. And I said, there is a way. All you got to do is check it out. But if you want to, don't want to, it's okay. But watch me grow.
But listen to what you're saying. Nothing has changed in those 3.5 years, Chris. You're no better off. So I think you got commissions once, hence you went and got the RV. But what else is it doing for you other than a social circle? That's about it. And it gives you a place where you can feel important because you're considered one of the quote leaders. And you're fine with that. You're fine with the waiting endlessly and not really knowing what's going on, because you really don't know what's going on. Or you can't seem to see what's actually going on. You just refuse to acknowledge reality. That's what it seems like to me. Denying reality.
Watch me grow with 1 million other people, and we're not going to stop, and it won't stop. So that's my top of the world, being positive toward negative people. I believe eventually everyone's going to come around. It may take some people a few more years longer because of their pride. Man, I threw my pride away a long time ago. This is it for me. This is what I'm doing. I believe in it. I believe in that CEO we call Asmahan Mufareh with the big ear right now. I believe in all of it. Everything he said to me, everything you guys have said to me, I believe it, because you want something better for your life, and that puts us all on the top. Ron, back to you.
There you have it. Mohan says he thinks we don't have anything. Maybe some of us run our own businesses, truly no tech, and make more than founders do with real-time freedom. Yeah. And maybe some of us do work for a company where we get, like, real benefits and everything. Nothing wrong with that. I just don't see why. I mean, if he's supposed to be uplifting humanity, why is he talking down to people and like pissing on what they do? Isn't that him being negative? Just like he claims that we're negative, even though we have like all kinds of evidence that we continue to show that just they deny. No, that's not true. No. Gizmos. Well, guys, I had more stuff planned, but I am like really tired now. So I will probably do the anatomy of a pyramid scheme again at a different time, because I just don't think I have it in me to read that. is the let's go, whatever the hell it's called. I mean, I never can remember what their stupid show is because it's that horrible name. What is the name of that stinking show? I don't know if it's still going on, but if it is, we could look at some of that. Or let me see how long this this is in the book. I know I marked this. Did I take it out? Oh, there it is. Well, it's not that long. Would you guys like to hear the anatomy of a pyramid scheme? And there you go, guys. Have it in the chat to see the mediation court filing if you are interested in that. You can go take a look at it for yourselves. That it's a real document. Scam Chen says, roll it. Okay. I can do that. Okay. I have my unicorn little mask that I wear to sleep. And I'm looking just fabulous, you know, just absolutely fabulous. I don't give a shit. I'm not here to win a beauty contest or anything. All right, so this is from Ponzinomics, and it starts on page 100, Anatomy of a Pyramid Scheme, by Robert Fitzpatrick. And let me get some more of my tea. All right. Just a few questions. On a regular basis, confused and frustrated reporters who have examined MLM for an assigned story call me for quotes, but mostly to help them understand the business. Despite years of examining various industries and with college or advanced education, they confess they just don't understand what they have seen. Outwardly, MLM looks like a sales company, they admit. There are products, purchases, commissions, and profit margins. Yet they cannot grasp fundamentals such as who sells the products and who the customers are, how the demand for the products is generated, most confusingly, how they pay rewards. The compensation plan, they note, is particularly unfathomable. A jumble of quotas, ranks, rules, percentages, all with bizarre and theatrical titles. They just have a few questions for me. They all say not realizing those questions will lead to answers they cannot print. I always begin my analysis by trying to turn their confusion into the most important fact to report. If seasoned, well-educated journalists can't figure out MLM, what chance does an ordinary consumer have? I remind them, maybe too early in the conversation, that such confusing terms and details are the classic hallmarks of flim-flam, scams, and sophisticated cons. They all tell me the same story. An online search turned up scores of websites promising independent reviews and analysis, or even warnings about MLMs. But following these links led only to promotions and solicitations. Many sites are clickbait or bots. Other sites are unabashed enrollment pitches with over-the-top praise, excitement, and ridiculous claims of income. In confusion and frustration, some reporters tell me, just for a moment, they themselves wondered if MLM might be good to join, given their own pay and job insecurity. A multi-million-dollar enterprise with millions of salespeople, a business so popular it is all over social media, that there is almost nothing useful for due diligence on research purposes. On the internet, nothing in the business press, and nothing about it from government sources. Reporters are assigned by their editors to report on whether certain companies are legitimate MLMs or pyramids, or at least show people how to tell the difference. Their searches eventually turn up my website, Pyramid Scheme Alert, or a news story about some MLM in which I am quoted. Here we go again. Groundhog Day for me. What is the difference between MLM and a pyramid scheme? They all want to know. I began the analysis, a dissection of the MLM anatomy, stating that, or starting with, not with a question, but by pointing out the reporter's own research experiences. Whatever MLM is, you can't know it until you have removed the outer costume, the hype, the claims, and presentations which are demonstrably useless or misleading. Relying on that outer costume, you cannot possibly understand it. And none of those millions of consumers who did rely on those presentations understood it when they signed up and paid. As for the pay plan, the reporters tried and failed to calculate. They could not possibly understand it. No one could. There are far too many variables, each affecting the others. Excuse me. Without systematic study, it is beyond comprehension. But even then, the only way you could actually understand how it works out in practice is to join. That way, you would see how all the variables interact from experience. But then it is too late. I make a feeble stab at ironic humor on the pyramid question. To answer the question about the difference between MLM and a pyramid scheme, I asked the reporters to first define MLM, the subject of their story. A pyramid scheme robbing Peter to pay Paul with unsustainable expansion is understandable. But they asked me to distinguish MLM from a pyramid scheme, so I asked them please explain what they mean by MLM. Silence. Then a realization. OMG. The reporters actually do not know exactly what MLM is. A type of direct selling, right? You sell and recruit a team to sell, right? Do they sell, I ask? And aren't they recruiting their own competitors for sales? Have they ever seen any MLMers selling? Why would anyone need a personal salesperson for skin cream? Ever bought something from an MLM salesperson without also being recruited to become a salesperson for the scheme? No. All have been recruited directly and online various times. It always felt weird and sleazy. I point out that they did not realize that they did not know what MLM is until after I asked. They just thought they knew, like millions of others. If they enrolled, they would have joined a business they couldn't explain and with a pay plan they didn't understand. That's how it works for everybody. So let's first define MLM, and then we can compare. I say, this won't take long, I promise. Great. Spoiler alert. Despite the reporter's initial excitement at finally unraveling the mystery of MLM, the stories that are later published do not address the startling fact that what the reporters thought MLM was only a vague and erroneous notion, not based on facts. The stories that are published in my Groundhog Day experiences do not say that the MLM pay plan, the key to its claim of unlimited income, is unfathomable, and anyone signing up for the income cannot possibly know what they are getting into. To have written that, people have either no clue how MLM works or how wrong an impression of what MLM is reveal MLM is a massive and carefully set consumer trap, causing tens of billions in losses each year due to deception, or at least to keep facts being purposefully withheld. It might mean a disinformation or cover-up by the MLM industry, ignored perhaps deliberately by law enforcement. I plunge on. I say MLM's financial proposition cannot be understood without accurately defining it, which requires separating it into defining parts. Then the truth becomes obvious in plain sight. This is not rocket science, but its obviousness is also why MLM promoters use extreme persuasion and diversion measures of emotion, fear, and utopian promises. It's why the reporters encountered the fake websites and false testimonials to prevent a deeper examination. But I get ahead of myself. I walk the reporters through the defining elements of what is called multi-level marketing. There are only 4. 1, endless chain. Everyone knows in theory an endless recruiting chain with each level larger than the one before is mathematically impossible and unsustainable. With each person recruiting just 5 others, the world population is exceeded just after 13 levels. Markets are limited. There are only so many people to sign up. That obvious fact dooms most to lose because most are always at the bottom. If one person recruits 5, who recruit 25, who recruit 125, etc., the bottom levels will always be over 80% of the total, that percent never appreciably changing, even if the chain grew to 125 million. Last ones in always lose, and they are always the vast majority. So how could MLM operate with such a defining structure? All of them do. That is how they promise unlimited income. Some have as many as 12 or more defined ranks or levels. And always the last person to join can recruit an endless number of more salespeople ad infinitum. What would be the sales purpose for such an impossible structure for management? An entire country could be easily managed with 3 management levels, with 1 or just a few people in each position, national, regional, district, overseeing the local sales force. Is there not some limit to the number of salespeople an area can bear or needs? The reporters agree that MLMs are defined uniquely by their endless recruiting chain of salespeople, in which everyone is also a recruiter, manager, and there is no level that is defined only as sales without also being authorized to recruit. We agree from a sales and management perspective, this seems to make no sense, and nearly all that join have to lose based on their position. Number 2, pay to play. We observe that to work in an MLM as a sales contractor, you have to pay an enrollment fee. Then to benefit from the bonuses flowing up to you from your recruits, you have to keep paying, buying a quota of stuff monthly. But why? You are not told where you are on the chain or how many others are already operating in your area or have ever joined before you. You have no protected territory. You cannot use media advertising. You don't have the benefit of company advertising or sales leads. The company keeps adding more and more salespeople in your area and encouraging you to recruit your own competitors. You cost the company nothing. You pay for marketing materials, fees for motivational events, even business cards. On the other hand, you have severe restrictions under the MLM contract you must sign when you first enroll. You can't recruit for several MLMs at the same time. You can't even criticize the company or its products. You can't sell your products on eBay or in a store. You can't participate in class action suits. Yet all MLMs require payment to join. payment to renew, and quotas of purchases or recruiting or both to gain overrides on your own recruits. The reporters agree that from a business perspective, required payments and quota purchases seem unjustified and would likely result in many people soon quitting under the burden of monthly costs if they were not successful in recruiting enough people. And we already figured out that it is mathematically impossible for the majority to be successful recruiters. Number 3, recruiting mandate. No one needs a PhD to know this one. All recruits figure this out in a matter of days. To gain the promised income in MLM, you have to recruit. Selling door to door at a marked up retail price is absurd in the area of eBay, Amazon, and Costco. Selling online when thousands of others are selling the same products at the same pricing is similarly fruitless. Trying to develop customers while the company keeps adding competitors and offering your customers the wholesale price as preferred customers or discount buyer is also absurd. MLM is direct selling in name only. In reality, it is all about recruiting. The people on the stage at motivation events that make the big bucks are not door-to-door salespeople, but black hat, Top Gun recruiters. The reporters agree that if you don't recruit, you don't make money. The endless chain income proposition only makes sense if you are a recruiter. The exponential math, 5 recruit 25, who recruit 125, who recruit 625, etc., that is shown during a presentation only works if you recruit the first 5, and all of them do too. And we had already figured out that it is mathematically impossible for everyone to recruit more people. From a business perspective, we also had already figured out that required payment seemed unjustified and would likely result in many people soon quitting under the burden of monthly costs. Number 4, extreme money transfer from bottom to top. And then we come to the defining element of MLM that caused the reporters not only confusion, but also momentarily inclined them away from the hard facts and toward MLM's dream visions and fake testimonials of happiness and wealth. This defining element dumbfounds and diverts new recruits. It involves the incomprehensible pay formula with its charts and rates, titles, rules, points. In John Oliver's famous expose, MLM on HBO, he played an actual and typical video clip of a slick MLM promoter explaining how extraordinary and simple the pay plan is. Within 3 sentences, the listener is lost in complexity and incomprehensible variables. This guile of claiming simplicity of something hopelessly complicated is to get the listener to abandon due diligence and just accept the wondrous assurances of the promoter without understanding anything. He said it is simple, so it must be my fault for not understanding the explanation. But here's the thing, I assure you, the reporters, you don't need to go through that torture or fall for the diversion. Right on the surface and without need of algebra, the most significant aspect of the MLM recruiting pay formula is visible and understandable. The formula, I remind them, is only based on overrides gained from having recruited a downline. And we already determined that recruiting is the only actual way to make money. In MLM sales means recruiting retail, means wholesale, the price paid by the downliner. And since everyone on the chain must meet a purchase quota, salesperson means buyer. Got it? I further remind the reporters that we had already determined that the pyramid structure always places the majority at the bottom. This is all in plain view or can be figured out pretty quickly. Just beyond the pyramid shape of the plan, in which the great majority of recruits are positioned at the end of the chain. Before you get to all those rules, quotas, and ranks, there is a basic calculation. It's simple arithmetic. It is the allocation of commissions, rates to each level. Just add them up and you will immediately see that the pay plan designates that the lower level recruiters, the majority, benefit the least when and if they do make a sale. The reward plan for sales has been turned upside down. So not only are most people in the bottom where they have little or no downline and therefore little or no income, but even when individuals do recruit some others, they still won't make a profit. The money they might have gained is transferred to the upper levels in extreme. This payout formula, unique to MLM as it is, endless chain of salespeople, contradicts all conventional sales compensation plans. In real sales businesses, the highest rate on each transaction is allocated to the person making the sales, with diminishing and much smaller rates paid to each layer of managers above. Overall, the true sales companies, the great majority of the total commissions paid on each transaction goes to the lowest levels of the chain where the sales are actually made or directly managed. Collectively, the upper management receives a much smaller proportion of total commissions. Individually, upper managers may earn more in total each year due to their position and responsibility, but they never get more of the total commission on each transaction. In MLM, the opposite occurs. In MLM, I remind them sales means recruiting. Money is made by recruiting new salespeople, who then buy product based on a quota for eligibility in the pay plan. In a research report published in 2008, I examined the payout disclosures of 11 multi-level marketing companies that serve as representative of the industry. It showed that all the companies transferred more than 50% of total payouts to the top 1% in the network in a single year, and much more than that for the top 4%. The true percentage of profitable participants in a multi-year time frame shrinks to a tiny percentage. The vast majority gains nothing at all because they failed to recruit anyone or not enough and soon quit. John Oliver's HBO show showed one major MLM in which over 95% of all salespeople received no commissions at all. Zero. Those near the bottom who do try to recruit get a pittance of the total commissions paid on their sales, purchases made by their new recruits after being enrolled. As senior FTC economist retired Peter Vandernat wrote, unbeknownst to general participants, the terms of the pyramid compensation plan secure the result that the vast majority will fail to obtain monetary rewards. Consumer advocate Dr. John Taylor analyzed the pay plans of most of the larger MLM companies. He called the typical MLM pay plan top-weighted, a gentle way of describing a classic system of transferring most of the money from the bottom, the proverbial last ones in, to recruiters and owners at the peak of the pyramid. The trigger for the higher payout rate is the total purchase volume of the entire downline of the enrollees. The more they work, the more is transferred out of their hands directly to those at the top. This upside down top-weighted formula was present in the Neutralite plan, the very first MLM, and it has never changed in 75 years for all the MLM that were created. In the first MLM, the lowest rank qualified to gain a monthly bonus would receive 5%, which is the difference between his lower price and the higher price charged to his new recruit. On that same purchase transaction in which the recruiter gained 5%, the levels above him received 20% collectively. 4 times more is paid to those that did nothing at all than is paid to one that actually made it happen. The formula also added in special bonuses when higher volumes were reached by a recruiter's downline. The result is just to add more payments per transaction to the top ranks. At this point, I email many reporters a graphic showing how this all works in simplified format entitled The Persuasive Proportions of a Pyramid Pay Plan, based on the work of the late Dr. Taylor. fascinated, but now also horrified at the picture that is emerging and still clinging to the identity of MLM as direct selling. Reporters typically now ask why the formula for recruiting bonuses is turned upside down. By now, most understand the absence of retail profit opportunity, the impossibility of the endless chain, the absolute and impossible requirement for recruiting, and how the pyramid puts most at the bottom where they can't make money. But why would MLM also turn the recruiting paid formula upside down, they ask. We are now descending into the deepest level of the MLM scheme, the point where the other steps of deception trigger the money transfer swindle. I explained that the upside down reward plan is essential. It fits tightly and integrally with the other elements we discussed: the unsustainable structure, the unjustified payments and purchase requirements, and unrelenting and impossible recruiting mandate. As we already determined, there is no sustainable retail customer base, no real demand for the goods, no need for a personal salesperson, and therefore little to no retail selling. But there's a tremendous market for income opportunity. That market has been drawing in more people since MLM was begun in 1945, and then grew tremendously since the mid-1970s. Today, it includes students with college degree debt, seniors facing mountains of medical bills and disappearing savings, families with unbearable rents, people already working 2 jobs, immigrants trying to survive, and military spouses facing multiple deployments, among others. The income opportunity market is exploding. It's just that, unfortunately, and fully known to the owners and top promoters of MLM. The MLM income opportunity, the one based on recruiting, does not exist. It is a phantom, a lure. It is the promised reward that cannot and will not be delivered. The actual plan results by design in more than 99% of the participants losing money. Such a plan can only reward a tiny number, the owners and a few at the top of the recruiting chains. But for them to reap the reward, all the others must lose. It is the losses of those countless others that are transferred up and called income for owners and top levels. Those losses are predetermined, baked into the plan and structure. The fourth defining element is called money transfer, to distinguish it from justified rewards based on creating value and producing true profit. The upside down pay plan, I say frankly now that we have laid out the whole picture, may seem to be a kind of insult piled on injury. It is not arbitrary, though. It is necessary. It is based on the most basic fact about the plan. The last ones in cannot be successful. They are doomed by the endless chain design. They lost when they signed up. Why would the company lighten the hit? It would make no sense to waste commissions on them. They will be quitting soon. As many as 80% of the latest recruits do quit within the first year of joining. But they are replaced. Some move on to other MLMs, replacing dropouts at those companies. The object is to get them to buy as much as possible. That's why there are purchase quotas. For as long as possible, that's why there are purchase quotas. For as long as possible, that's why they are promised unlimited income. If they keep buying, and if they miss even 1 month, they lose everything and get as much from them, the extreme money transfer formula, as possible while they are enrolled in buying. The lost investments of new recruits who are seeking the legendary income opportunity are the primary revenue source of the MLM company. The top-weighted MLM plan rewards those that do not do the enterprise's most valuable work towards gaining that revenue. They add the most value to the enterprise as it is designed. That value they add is not measured by their individual sales or even the sales of their recruits. Those sales come after the person is persuaded and enrolled. Value is measured by their contribution to the company's mission. But what is the mission? I am asked hesitantly, betraying a dread of my answer. It's to deceive all the new recruits about the non-existent income opportunity. It's to get them to believe. MLMs seek to capture the mind of the recruit. Money will follow. The more they believe and the longer they believe, the more money the company gets from them. The Top Gun recruiters audaciously repeat and act out the big lie on stage on videos with their lifestyle, their politics, and their claims of success. The Top Gun recruiters orchestrate the recruiting campaigns and serve as the role models for all who desperately hope to get to the top where they too will have success, not understanding that only 1% can be there. The black hat recruiters and the company owners play the roles of guru, the holders of ancient secrets to success. Totally fulfilled and enlightened persons, they persuade recruits that they must become like them or be doomed to live as losers. Inevitably, at this point in the calls that had begun so blithely, I sense a line has been crossed and the mood has shifted away from further inquiry. Questions stop. A point was reached earlier where the reporters already realized that this story, regardless of its veracity, would never be published. I finish it off anyway, so we can see, I say, the 4 defining elements of MLM, endless chain, pay to play, recruiting mandate, and money transfer are exactly the elements of a pyramid scheme. A portrait of one is a replica of the other. Both rely on deception. Both cause the last ones in to lose. You pay to join an endless chain. You find others to also join, to gain others of their money for yourself. You falsely promise every new person they will make money when they bring others in. And if they don't, they lose out. And the money from the new people is the money the earlier people receive. Though I am not asked, but just to round out the portrait, I explain that most naked pyramids eventually collapse when not enough new people join, resulting in others not getting their rewards. The chain breaks. But MLM is not recognized as a pyramid scheme because its true anatomy is disguised. Its endless chain keeps breaking, but it is repaired as new people replace the losers. MLM is officially designated as direct selling. It is legitimate. So people keep joining, lured by deception and driven by hope and need. Even though the data exists showing 90% plus loss rates, it has been explained comically by John Oliver on HBO. Few people believe it because how could it be true and also be legitimate? MLM, they are told, sits at the head table of the Chamber of Commerce. It has the support of Congress. It shares the stocks are traded on Wall Street. The courts and FTC affirm it is legal. Top celebrities and star athletes endorse it. Even President Trump promoted several MLMs, so the losses, they conclude, must be market-based. The fault of the losers. Buyer beware, work harder, be positive. Losses only happen to average people. The opportunity is real. It's the American dream and all that. Now the reporters usually thank me sullenly and quickly in the phone call. The articles that are published almost always quote the Direct Selling Association about the popularity of direct selling, about average incomes of direct sellers, and how those that don't make money just didn't want it or didn't try hard enough. They just enrolled to get the wonderful products at a discount. A photo of the winner is featured smiling in front of a display of skin lotions. Six-figure incomes are cited as possible. I am quoted as a critic claiming that MLMs operate as pyramid schemes, but the article also notes the FTC says MLM is legitimate. The first proportions of the pyramid pay plan. This illustration, which you guys are not going to be able to see unless you have the book, and it's I'm trying to put it up there so you can kind of see it. This illustration shows a plan that expands with each rep recruiting just 2 others to qualify for company bonuses. Each rep purchases or sales just $1,000 a year, or about $80 a month, a conservatively typical MLM figure. The play plan shows the bonus increasing from 5% to 15% only when the downline reaches 10 levels. So when level 9 recruits someone in level 10 and level 9 gets 5% of the sale, but the person at the top gets 15% and the other levels collectively get 30% on that same sale. Additionally, the 15% will be paid on the deepest level, which always consists of 50% of the entire organization, increasing the total payout to the top tremendously. Total purchases by 10 levels downline, $2,046,000. Total residual override payments to top position and 10 level downline, $1,024,100, 50% of the wholesale revenue. 50% of all sales reps will always be at the bottom level, regardless of how large the organization becomes. The one person in the top position purchases or sells no more than any other rep, that makes approximately as much money as all the people in levels 7 through 10 combined, which is 1,920 people, or 94% of the entire organization. The one person in the top position represents 1/20th of the 1% of the total organization, and the total purchases that receives 20% of all company bonuses. The top position in levels 1 through 3 receive 50% of all the company bonuses, but represent only 3/4 of 1% of the total organization. 15 people receive as much money as 2,032 combined, though each purchase the same amount of product. And there you have it, the anatomy of a pyramid scheme. And and Beth, I don't think that you got the link to the mediation report. It is in the chat. Let me see if I can re-grab it. If I can find it again. Crap. But basically, I'll sum it up for you. And I will put the link in the description. Is that basically nothing has happened? I can just go ahead and show it again. Give me a moment to pull that up. Where is it? Where did I put it? Give me a minute to find it. Because I've got to think. And I don't want to think. Kidding. I don't mind thinking. I just don't have it like just right here, And of course, I have a bunch of shit on top of it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so you can know what it was. Is they let you know that there was a mediation, which that was held on May 10th. And what the results are, it does say that all individuals and parties in the respective council were present and designated corporate representatives. And then here is like where it talks about the outcome, and there's an X by where they are in this. The conference was continued with the consent of all parties in council. The mediation conference will be held on a date certain, not later than 10 days prior to the scheduled trial date. Any continuance beyond that time must be approved by the presiding judge. Mediation reports will be filed after additional conferences are complete. Again, there is no winning of anything. The mediation has not concluded anything. If they do, down here, I do like this about the parties have reached an impasse. That might be something that they do come to, is an impasse. And if they reach an impasse, then it definitely will go to trial. So that is the update of the mediation, is that it happened. No agreement was reached, and it will basically continue. And if they cannot reach anything before 10 days before the trial date, is like it'll go to trial. They are at a standstill, but there's open room for there to be other mediation meetings. So basically, it's like Ash has tried to present it as if like everything's settled, we won, and that's not true. An agreement would be what? I mean, it could be a variety of things, and I am not going to sit here and guess what that could be. Sometimes it would be like somebody no longer being able to hold a position within this type of business, or not allowed to not even be able to be a consultant or anything. It can just be a variety of things. It's just easier to say that. And I certainly do not have the expertise to say what all of that could be. So, and and sometimes it can be like different fines are incurred on this, just different things can happen. And until we know for sure when it's put out, I don't want to really speculate what it could be, because it would just be, that's what it would be. It would all be just pure speculation and made up bullshit. And I just don't want to speculate on something as important as this. So there you have it. There you have it. There you have it. Let's see. What is this? Okay, I also have a link to something. Let me see what this is. Oh, yep. So I do have something else to share with you. All right. And remove that. So I'm going to stop all of this nonsense. And okay. This is also from the, what is it? Whatever the hell it's called. You guys want to see this? Here we go.
Well, probably what? 2 people, males in this company that keep me going. 3. Did I say 2? 3. Okay. And they go in line and everybody knows them. Okay. I've already introduced one, and the other one didn't want to talk, but I'm going to make him talk. Okay. Because this guy has got to be the biggest Energizer bunny in the world for what he does for ONPASSIVE and the people of ONPASSIVE. And he keeps me in line. He keeps me in line and straight. And I kind of tell him what I want to do. And then him and Crystal put me in line saying, no, you might want to do it this way. Okay. And I'll think about it and say, God, I hate it when they're right. I'm older than both of them. But this guy made an impression on me the first time I heard him. The first time I heard him speak, because it was kind of like Asmahan Mufareh you knew that this guy was speaking from a heart that's probably twice as big as his chest. And he lives on passive. He breathes on passive. He is on passive. And he's my mentor and my friend. And I'm talking about Marty DeGarmo. Marty, if you would, just, I know you didn't want to speak, but come on down and speak.
Oh, good gravy. This is your mentor? Man, something slim shady going on with this shit because okay.
All right. It'd be a lot easier if you didn't add all that stuff. Okay. I'm just Marty. All right.
But it's from the heart, and it's
because I keep looking behind me. Who the freak is he talking about? Anyway, yeah, you know, I looked at the poster you have on the top of the world, on top of the world. I realized my whole life from high school, I had something to do with working with people, even in a factory. I wound up being the guy that was doing training, and then I moved around the world, met different people, and had to do with training and building, and thank God I learned that you can get a lot more by being a guide than being a boss. So, but no, with Unpassive, top of the world. But for me, the top of the world was, I finally found a business where everyone can win. I mean, not charity, but everybody has a chance to win.
Okay.
And I thought,
I've got to stop right there because I'm so goddamn sick and tired of hearing things and nothing ever being defined. What do you mean by win? Define win. What does that mean? What should people expect if they're going to win? How do you know everybody's going to win? Where is this written? Oh, yeah. You guys don't put anything down on paper, so nobody can go and look it up. I am so damn sick and tired of you guys just using words that Ash has said that he never clearly defines. And now everybody's just using, oh, we're all going to win. And having no fucking idea what it means. Because you know damn well you don't know what it means. Just a bunch of bullshit coming out of your mouths.
I remember talking to Mike and Dan 5 years ago, before here, 8 years ago. I can't believe I've been here 5.5 years. Okay, 8 years ago. And it was always our ambition, big for me. Rick, we got to find something that once we know it's good, we have to build relationships with the people. Because
okay, so define good. How do you know something is good? What is your litmus test on that? What is your criteria? How do you measure it? Oh, you don't say anything about that either. You just blanketly like, because it's good. And people are just supposed to believe it because you said it.
That's where the strength will come from. Technology will be there, whatever it is we were doing then. But we never had an opportunity to do that because the company wasn't set up to build relationships. It was set up that you guys are numbers. And he's a number and she's a number, and only the strong survive, or whatever you want to call it. And that was just gut-wrenching for me. But with Unpassive, when we came and I started to think, this is it. So we right away tried to build, let's get to know people. I want to know who we got.
But how many things, Marty, have you said, this is it, this is the best thing? Because you've been saying the same shit about every other damn thing that you've ever been in. But yet somehow, this one, because I guess it's taken so damn long, is somehow better. It's actually going to do something. Where is proof of any of that? You're just going along, making these, motivational webinars every day. I don't know how the fuck you do it. You're saying the same shit all the time. You must get sick of hearing yourself talk. I mean, it has to be the most boring thing to do all the time is for you to just sit there day after day after day after day after day saying the same damn things.
I don't know who everybody is because I always thought the strength in any company is the people. It's not the gadgets or the technology. Does it help? Yeah. It only makes it better. But what I found out.
Oh my, Monhun, you just said something that triggers me when I hear him say, trust me. As soon as I hear the trust me, that immediately, it's like my antenna goes up, my spidey sense comes up, and I'm like, and I shouldn't trust you because you shouldn't have to keep saying, trust me, if you're actually trustworthy. That really bugs me.
Unpassable. When I got in, I thought what I thought it was, I started climbing as fast as I could. And I wanted to get to whatever that top is, not from financial. Yeah, that's part of it. But I wanted to know. But I found out in Unpassive there is no top. There's plateaus because every time I get up, even into the cloud parts of Unpassive, which a lot of us are getting up into the cloudy area, you look up and.
So what are those parts? How do you get there? What are you even talking about? Are you going to explain that? Or are you just, again, words, words, words? Do I need to read Wordy Wrapping Hood all over again?
And it's just as high as it was when you started. There's that much more. You know, I always said, I would tell myself, man, you only know 1%, you only know 2%, you only know 5%.
And this bullshit about percentages of what you know. Who the fuck goes around and talks it like that? I have never, ever, I don't even know 1% of what's going on, and you're happy about it. It's just crazy. To me, that's fucking crazy talk. I only know 1% of what's going on. Maybe I know 5%. You know, it's like, again, if Ash actually published a business plan, a project plan, if he defined many things that he says so people would know what they are, had a compensation structure that people could go and reference, anything where people could reference, and they don't have to just remember from webinar to webinar. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous how much you cannot find about any of this stuff. And their blogs and all that, I mean, all the stuff on their website is completely useless. If anything, they're probably just stealing like articles from other sites and just, you know, putting them out there as their own, is what I think. I mean, when has Ash ever explained what a unicorn actually is? Because he has them bamboozled that they're a unicorn. And I just read to you all about what a unicorn is. They've never taken the time to do that. Why? Probably because they know that they're not a unicorn. That's why the amigos would not dare go there if they actually started giving people the truth.
And I said, I know 5% of this amazing company. Then Ash comes out and says, I want you to back off 1,000 feet. And we are one little planet, Unpassive, one little planet in the universe of Misty Mufareh. And I went, damn, I only know 1% again, right? Because it got bigger and bigger and bigger. But yeah, the main thing for me is I was looking at the background of Patricia's background, that big open field. That's what Unpassive was to me when I came. And then seeds were planted. That's all of you. And Jeffrey remembers because he was here before me. Now behind there's a forest of people. And you don't know that. You don't know that then. I mean, that's what I wanted. But it got so much bigger and better than I thought. I mean, it just grown and grown and grown. And like Ash said, you hear him say this.
Growing and growing and growing. Let's see, the Singapore office is no more. The U.S. office was taken off of the website. So does that even exist?
The power of the companies, the people. The people, the movement It's an ideology. And that to me is massive. And seeing people, look, I've known all of you since you've been in. There's very few people who've been here longer than me besides Jeffrey. And I've seen you when you wouldn't turn your camera on. You wouldn't put your name in. You might put your name in, and even then you're probably crapping bricks behind the camera. And we don't know because we can't see you. But then the camera came on, and then you're like, oh, I hope they don't pick me. I hope I don't get picked. And now look now. Some of the best speeches I've heard in 5 years came out tonight. I told Chris, I said, you know, that's a payoff. For me, doing the lives every day, this is a payoff. Seeing people become, and I still don't know, we still don't know each other's 100% potential, but we're starting to see it. And to me, that's my top. You know, they closed the door 2 years ago this month. No more founders, no more whatever you want to call us. And it was on purpose. We had to become where we are now before this could launch to the world. Not that I know that then. No, I want to tell you I did because I know everything. No, I didn't.
Okay, there they are. Once again, he's walking back that they haven't yet launched to the world, but yet they did. But they're walking that back. You can't launch and then say we didn't launch. And they do that. And excuse me, nobody bats an eye. It's like, good gravy, Marie. You guys don't realize that what you did, you really are buying this bullshit that you haven't? For fuck's sake.
But as I look at this journey and I realize all the hiccups and fumbles and things that fell down, we needed to be where we are now. Because now when they open it up to the world, we have thousands of people in the army of ONPASSIVE. You don't have one or two, you have thousands of people that feel the same way, they talk the same way, they believe the same way. We have different deliveries, thank God, everybody's different. But the power of the companies you're looking at right now, and it's bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And when it's all said and done, people are going to flock to you. And just by the grace of God, we're going to have the best quality products in the world. So yeah, I'm happy. And there's different plateaus, and we're going to go up over, climbing. We're all climbing together. For me, that's my top. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Marty.
Marty.
Let me say real quick, Minnow, because I'm going to have Minnow take over so I can drink some water and relax for a second, kind of calm myself down. I'm still hyper. I don't know why. Anyway, Marty, thank you for speaking, because I know that you like to listen a lot more than speaking. People really don't know that about you, but you definitely are a mentor of mine, and I appreciate you and the wisdom that you share with me when I can get hold of you. Seems like I can call Chris quicker. But anyways, Marty, I really appreciate you. Jeffrey, you're right in there with him, Papa. Okay? You're right in there with him. And I was thinking, Marty, instead of founders and affiliates, looking at all these people on the screen, why don't they just call us top performers? I think that sounds pretty good, because that's what we all are.
I kind of like superstars, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, Marty, thanks again. I'm gonna turn it over to my beautiful co-host, Miss Minu. Go ahead, Minu. There are two people.
For fuck's sake. Top performers, because they want to be treated special by Ash and get more of the pie, just like what I read to you about. They want more. They think they deserve more than anyone else. Let's see. To put it in space terms so Ash could understand, he runs the only company with more failed launches than SpaceX and Starliner combined. Right, MLM, love their titles and shit, right, Lamar? Sure do. Just make up some crazy ass names for shit and stay plugged in to win. And again, what's plugged in? How are they monitoring if people are plugged in? They're monitoring the entire internet. How are they doing that? Who's doing it? Based on what? What's the criteria? I mean, there's always just so many more questions, and nobody seems to care about any of that. Nobody seems to care about the need for clarification on anything. And I think that clarification is owed to all of the founders. They need to have everything being crystal clear, and it's not. Let's see. Monhun said, today they're top performers, but with all the new tops, Ash just keeps building. Soon they'll be at the bottom of new tops. Oh, wow. That's great. Founders telling founders being plugged in. Yeah, right. So, I mean, the entire thing is just grimy and slimy as far as I'm concerned. The submarine that blew up for searching for the Titanic had more success than ONPASSIVE. It's a good one, Sam. Well, guys, I'm kind of reaching my, oh, wow, it's late now. I've reached the end of my time to be here with you. I have enjoyed it a great deal. I hope that you guys got something out of this and you found value in the things that I covered, which go listen to Wordy Rapping Hood. Look it up. There are, it's in YouTube, so you can actually hear it instead of me reciting the lyrics. I would encourage you to do that. And if you want to see this document yourself, I've put it in the chat several times. I'll put a link to it in the video description as well so that you can get to it. And I read from the Ponzinomics to you guys also. So hopefully that's something I think the founders really needed to hear, that they probably won't. And they also need to hear about what a unicorn company is, and they probably won't. They probably won't. And it's just so sad that they don't do any research outside of, like, just look at what the company is saying and what Ash says. Only listen to the company. Nothing else matters. And again, that should be huge ass red flags flying all over the place. And alas, they're not. Anyway, I am going to get down on the go-go. And the Bubby Wumpkins have been very good. I think it's because I didn't hear Mr. Man tonight. I want to thank all of you in the chat. I really appreciate your participation, and to the lurkers too. Also, a whoop whoop for the replay crew and a whoop whoop for the catch-up crew as well. Thank you to my channel members and to my patrons. All of you, appreciate you so very much. And to all my subscribers, I appreciate you as well. And I know I reached a little bit over 17,000, so I thank you for all of that as well. I appreciate it. And yeah, so again, I'll see you next time when I have something good to tell you about. I mean, by good, it's just like I have more news. I have more things to read and tell you about stuff. I'll be here. So have a great one. And don't forget. Oh, and I did want to mention this. Today is the anniversary of when my dear friend Andy self-harmed and is no longer with us. And it's because of him that he said this to every single person he ever met. Is why I say it to you guys. It's to honor him. Don't forget, you're beautiful and I love you. It brings tears to my eyes thinking of my dear Andy, because he is so missed. Anyway, I appreciate all of you. Thank you very much. Good night, everyone. And again, don't forget, you're beautiful and I do love you.